need some of those heroes to come online because they've been okay, but it's not been enough to take rounds off Gen G.
Haven't seen the numbers of clutches from Gen G versus PaperX, but PaperX also do very well in those late rounds. Players like Forsaken previously bailed them from so many situations. Now, weaker weapons like we said, and close range surprise factor is probably the best way to find value. Mindfreak has at least picked up one, but Karen is making this one look easy. 3 kills already under his belt, 40 HP, and he's tucking in the corner. It looks like he's going to get this one easily with Mindfreak drop. That's his 4th kill of the round. A confidence builder if ever I've seen one. And that's the last thing that PaperX wanted to give to their opponent. Again, not talking about them losing the round. That's expected. It's the amount of players still alive on Gen G. They're farming credits by the minute, but something has picked up one more. 3 to go. One hell of a play if he made it. And it ain't going to happen. Look at that firing squad down below.
Yeah, I up in tempo, especially in these anti-eco rounds. They're not allowing their... You had the instant TP to the back of sight, information clearing things out. The rest of the team quickly execute, and Karen actually sticks around. He just keeps the spot, keeps the control. Doesn't allow anybody to get too far ahead, and he even takes himself 4 kills while he's at it, so why not?
This is definitely where on the side of PaperX you start to feel that mental pressure applied. Defense has been tested again and again. They failed the test again and again. 5 in a row for Gen G, and now ultis are there. Showstopper fired off, and Munyet had no chance. No smokes for the way back through. No paranoia.
Gokil, Ajay. Lu ngapain diem Discord Mas Nasir? Suara in-game gedein bang. Kurang gede ya.
Combined might be one of the fastest rounds we've ever had in the VCT. That was so quick from Gen G. And you could just see the more the confidence build, the faster these takes are getting. Gen G are getting opener after opener. They've used a couple of ults.
Assalamualaikum.
Like you're talking about Showstopper used this round. Last round they used From the Shadows to get the same sort of information. Although that's already back online.
Hah?
Hey, oh wow. Huge.
Hey, he got them the spaces around prior. And then Karen got 4 kills. That's why it's back online.
Emang iya? Dipindahin mana Nugget? Emang iya? Kalah gini coy, kayak mana nih?
Wajar sih. Aku juga gacor.
Iya, Jiji gacor deh, improve-nya ngericok.
Emang gacor.
Aneh aja.
Malah kalau Perit menang kaget ini baru. Karonnya udah nyala
terus. Biasanya Karon yang turu kan?
Something might be able to save them. He's made big plays before with the blade storm. There's one, and not 2 damage, but no kills. Oh!
Munyet has a chance. Somehow this has come back into a winnable scenario. Just need to hit the bullet. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Oh putih ya? Gak kelihatan ya? Kalian jangan nonton di aku, cok. Kan kamu menemani aku. Jadi nonton di Twitch. Biar enak, cok, ngomongnya. Di Twitch aja, aku di Twitch. Kayak streamer Valo gitu, cok. Mau mulai.
di web dong, ngapain?
Yeah, like I said, you know, there was no chance of them losing that.
Emang lebih bagus kali.
I thought something would be the hero, but Munyet, they complimented his calling and his play in the video we saw earlier, and I can see why he's fragging out like that. But again,
streamer niat coy.
Close but no cigar.
Aman ya?
Gen G.
Detik berapa kita anjay, detik berapa?
Enggak, Anda di itu Indo atau luar?
Di luar. Oh, di luar kan? Apa di mana? Di luar ya. Valorant. Lu detik berapa, Get?
Udah ngeplan.
Emang anak tai. Ya udah nanti habis ngeplan disamain. streamer ngitung anjing.
From above,
Intinya
there's
PR
not really
kalah,
an easy
udah.
way to kill him.
Ah,
There is. Somehow Munya got past all the defenses.
Tuh,
Even
82
still
tuh.
though, this post plant looks strong.
Semoga Genji juara
Nades
sih
still available.
sekalian.
They've been taking these sites so quickly.
Enggak,
that
ini
they've had
2-0
no
jadi
problems just having
2-13
late
sih
utility.
lucu sih.
Wow, the time almost looks like it's gone. Trying to bait some space, but
nah yo detik berapa Get?
Genji, another three-man player
82
surviving.
Robin.
Ya oke.
On the board.
Belum ada
And this
detiknya,
is
woi.
the
Oh detik berapa? Ayo detik berapa?
26, 25.
Detik 15 ya? Sabar.
Twitch sih sama
15.
harusnya.
It's hard to think about.
Kalau
Even the
Twitch
round that was
sama.
close, Tom, it comes on the
Paling
back
kelas
of
1
players
detik
being
kecuali
communicated to get
YouTube.
across the line. It's not what you want to see. Early on in a series,
Oh detik 5 aku pause anjing.
G got absolutely obliterated.
5.
Oh detik 5.
Apaan tuh?
Alah apa dia
Udah di
ini?
refreshnya sama nanti.
Here at least
Kita biar sama, Cok.
but yet does well. Rockets on point. And with Lakia down, it looks like PaperX are set to finally put another round on the board. Long have they waited.
25,
It's Karen to try to challenge, and he got an opportunity. But it was
23,
shut down eventually by something
Ya
with
udah
only
sama
one
aja.
standing. It's
Kalau
an
di
easy
Twitch
win.
itu
8
kali
to 3.
Ini gua nonton sendiri, Jing.
Back on the board, but hell of a distance yet to go.
Yeah, and again, it comes off some individual brilliance out of Forsaken. Definitely had support. I think he doesn't get that kill if it's not for Munya being able to kill off the close player, but it's at least a breath of life. We've seen them have strong attack in halves before, so even a sort of 8-4 scoreline wouldn't be a complete death sentence. I'm looking at two operators on the attack, though. Obviously, it's something that can be dropped, but they are waiting for aggression here, and it's coming. It's coming.
They ain't waiting in the right spot, though. Those ops are elsewhere. And that mid control is going to be completely conceded. The golden gun on Lakia. Good to see him showing up. Really swinging. I think he's currently 12 and 6-2 KD on the board and a chance to push it even further at 8-3. PaperX tried a mid push, got denied. Now it seems like they're caught. 1 foot in the ground.
Pinter menyebar ini.
Or reset
1 ML.
for the later play, and Genji have not made a decision. With a minute 5 seconds on the clock, they don't need to rush. They're holding tight, waiting for PaperX to make the mistake.
They're so nervous of so big within the smokes that are placed. Most of the time, those smokes are being put down by Munya just to deter aggression, which is exactly what it's done. Texture, though, might have a fight because they're so passive. The operator could be so valuable here. There's no one on the backside once again, but the spike is...
Keren bang, laptop baru. Welcome, Mat. Tapi putih, Mat, kata Mas Nasir catnya. Jadi mau ku ganti. Tapi gelo nggak sih, Mat? Gelo nggak sih, Mat?
But now I'm just looking at that timer. TP into the backside once more. It's been cleared out, so the spike will be able to go down. This almost has to be a complete retake.
Oh, shot by Lakia.
Timing.
There's his 13. An opportunity indeed with that spike down. 15 seconds left. It's time for Genji to get a move on. Munchkin has to...
Mancin bisa dapat 1 nih, anjing.
They need to dive on that spike and get it planted, but PaperX are in their way.
Warna janda gitu, Bang.
Rounds at the half. It's not a dead sentence like you said, Tom, but
Emang nyari yang unyu, Mat. Pasar kita emang janda-janda gitu nggak sih?
Genji, Lakia leading the charge, and plenty more left in the tank for this second half. You have to hope that PaperX have got something special planned on their attack, because this was a really, really rough scenario for them to have to fight back from.
Tapi kekecilan nggak sih, Mat? Apa cukup? Cukup ya? Ini yang dikasih itu, Cok. Apa namanya? Overlay. Harusnya sih game sih. Gue nggak tahu, Cok. Ini betul apa enggak?
안녕하세요. 츠 소속으로 활동하고 있는 기아 김종민이라고 합니다. 무엇보다 플레이오프에 진출하게 돼서 행복한 것 같습니다. 일단 첫 스타트가 되게 힘들었었고 오늘 또한 첫 경기 자체는 되게 힘들었는데 그거를 잘 극복해내서 좋은
Bukan putih, Nying.
것 같고요.
Ini
플레이오프
overlay Q bukan sih? Nah, kalau Q, Mat, ada beda lagi, Mat. Ada berapa tuh? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 overlay kan? 6 dikurangi 2. 2 kan buat apa namanya? Buat starting sama ending gitu. Terus tuh ada yang no cam. Terus ada yang ngobrol doang. Terus ada yang itu tanpa overlay gini ya, tanpa kotak-kotak gini. Gitu. Gue bingung.
준비되어 있고요.
Ini paling keren.
이제
Tapi
더 잘하는 모습
masa iya gini, Cok? Gitu anjing.
잘 저희가 준비해야 될 것 같아요.
Warna ungunya sih gelo sih.
플레이오프까지 진출하게 됐고 이제 또 경기들이 며칠 있으면 보일 텐데 그때까지 더 좋은 모습을
Nah, kalau overlay main, gue pengennya ini Mat sebenarnya. Yang ini yang lu lihat ini kan. Nah, tapi kalau orang biasanya ini.
보여주신 팬분들께 너무 감사하고 팬분들을 위해 게임을 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Ini. Gini. Ini polosan gitu, Cok.
Was third time lucky for Gen G last time facing off against Paper X.
Ini kan harusnya biasanya kan gini kan, prop
At least kicking off
gitu-gitu.
8-4
Gue bingung penempatnya nih sih.
for Gen G to close this map.
Ini chatting doang.
Paper X
Gitu.
not to be put to the test, and the big
Ini no cam.
was something diving into sights. The thing is he had a Yoru causing a lot of
Nah, mendingan tadi ya full screen.
a little bit more conventional.
Gini ya, muka gue kecil dong anjing.
In he goes. Something's looking
Ini keren seriusnya emang gini sih.
Snake bites even
Sabar.
better. And with 1 HP, Lucky doesn't stand a chance. The rest of the squad comes in to save him, but they've ended up falling to a 3 versus 1 with Meteor left standing and his back wide open.
Dulu lu nge-beef.
And it almost was a costly one too.
Nah, gini ya Mat ya.
Munya needed to hit that head.
Oke Mat, aman Mat.
It looked like there was a realm where Meteor managed to turn that back. Even still, though, it is the pistol round for Paperex, and that is the thing. Even with this compositional change, the thing that it adds is, firstly, you're going to have that paranoia available for Munya to sort of set them up.
Emot kucing jempol. Oke Mat. Aman ya Mat ya.
So it just almost, we're going to
Tapi belum ku setting sih.
of who's going in first. So you're going to have Forsaken sometimes taking space for something, maybe if he has that operator in hand, and something in that round taking space for Forsaken. They are a deadly duo, whether the Yoru's there or not.
Oke Mat, terima kasih Ramat. Ush.
Meteor, opportunity for more, and he's landed that shot as well. Forsaken's very low, a big help to any teammates that end up taking that fight. We may talk about the outlaw, but this man's making it work with the Marshal, the cheaper weapon. And okay, an opportunity if they had have spotted the player in the corner. Monyet, though, able to deliver the killing.
Ah, gini dulu aja.
Fell to a snake bite after being touched.
Wah,
Push from Meteor. You will rarely see a man
nice.
with the gall or the gumption to do such a thing.
Thank you Mat for the feedback.
Versus two.
Nah, kalau menurutmu yang tadi itu Mat buat apa Mat?
But that might mean
Yang rame tuh.
he could pick up a weapon.
It depends, though. Because Paperex,
Ah, tetap pakai ini gitu.
plays of Paperex have been so fast.
Terus yang tadi kagak guna dong anjing.
They don't need to overaggress. They've just thrown out the guiding light, the flash to get them a little bit of extra information. Still no weaponry found. Now, Karen does have himself a paranoia. He's brought up his full belt of utility. If he can
Yang itu
somehow
buat
escape one of
Q.
these
Berarti kayak nunggu Q gitu ya.
Seems like he's waiting for that site to be taken. Smoke will give that away. The spike being planted. And now he can look to try and see if there's any gun to be had. And, well, there you have it.
Oh.
Yeti. Yeah, we've got a bulldog to play with 100 HP, a paranoia.
Kayak sebelum main lah itu.
Timing is key, and they swing
Ah.
together. That's a 3-2-1.
Nice.
Perfectly on cue. They won the round, Tom. 3 players down. This definitely isn't how they would have wanted to start it. When I add to that it's a Marshall headshot, okay, what can you do? And another Marshall headshot from a guy pushing a smoke close range, using it like a shotgun. That's not gonna feel great. And the other player died to a
Betul bang.
So,
Oke, thank you Mat.
random engagements.
Thank you.
Ended up
Ntar gue setting yang ini.
rocking the
Tapi nanti
boat
aja.
for Paper X. We'll see how they recover.
When the thing is as well, the players really don't want those ores to be going over to his Meteor. 3 away from the Blade Storm, even just a bit of damage in this round, and he'll have something for the next. Now this purchase from PaperX has players now
Lu nonton di mana Mat?
really low on cash. You've
Lu
got
kok mau
Forsaken
cabut
and
gak apa-apa Mat?
down at
Gue mah cuma
150
butuh lag
credits.
doang.
Next round, they might be in a
Makasih
position
udah
to
mampir.
Forsaken, though. He's just gone walkabouts. He's sprinting after Lakia, but he isn't going to be able to land the
Ush,
shot.
terus
At
demok.
least for now, it's only going to be the control that's lost for Gen G.
No heavy price tag associated with it. Down in vent, this is an uncouth hold. 2 players and they're dropping in, landing on each other's head. It couldn't be easier for Lakia, signed, sealed, and delivered to this man with the heal up for his teammate. Munchkin's going to be back up in fighting form, and in a 5v3, That's another nail in the coffin for Paper Rex. Tagged up a little ranged fight, and what an adjustment from Munchkin. Clinical. As now there's
Maksudnya
only two
kena trapnya 2 orang turun, 2 orang jaga, di-killnya sama 1 orang anjing. Double crosshair checker nya.
So he's going to be half HP entering the site. They don't even know the Munchkin's there. A perfect reposition. This
Posisinya bagus, Jing.
return to form as Devi's the only man left standing. A 1v5 scenario. Talk about can he do any semblance of damage. As said, they invested some extra
Bagusnya Genji tuh gitu, Cok.
Not exactly going to be pretty.
Dia nggak terlalu over nyari gitu loh.
I think actually holding onto a gun here would have more value, and he's just been seen knowing exactly where he is now. I imagine there's going to be pressure placed onto this man. Blast packs could be thrown in, but it's just going to be the entirety of the squad looking to just jump down upon him within those last few seconds. A while not even needed. First one gets the job done.
Ronde Rere.
Their lead.
Alive, you know, it's a little scary because it feels like since the very beginning of some of these halves, Genji haven't had a problem when it comes to economy. And I think for this 6-9 scoreline, Paper Rex attack side, they get a decent buy out of it. And, you know, it might even seem weird if you look at the timeline. You lose the 3rd round after winning first 2. What's the issue? The issue is the damage done. 2 players alive coming out of both of those rounds. It meant constant reinvestment.
Main pre-kill 1.
Stinger and a Sheriff light shields on most players. Some heavy disadvantages to play with, and that orb, well, I mean, it kind of has worked because Munchkin fell into it, but
Kok main free?
It's not going to cover up above. They've had to re-smoke it. Again, an explosive start to the round. Almost a kill. Well, I say almost. They've ended up
Nice.
with 3. This is exactly what Paper X does. These fast-paced plays into the site. As mentioned, this was a weaker purchase. They had some pieces missing with that Sheriff and Stinger. Now, though, you look towards the players of Genji in this 2v4 scenario. Flash is already going to reveal Texture's position. And they've spotted Karen as well. Although I say that, the peek out never really came in. The player behind the back of the site should have probably seen him. Now it gets a little bit more interesting. Space given to Texture.
Nice.
Both shots landed by Mindfreak. He's been quiet so far, but popping a couple of heads with a Sheriff isn't going to go amiss.
well, this is definitely the time to wake up. You know, we gave the same caveat coming into the last half, and then Genji ran away with it. But here, a challenge early on, and more importantly, a challenge with so many weaknesses on the board. I mean, this was a round where you have a couple of rifles, and what ends up winning it is a Stinger diving onto site, 2 kills out of a Sheriff to close the round out. Doesn't get much better than that. It was even a classic jumping around the corner to find one of those opening duels in elbow.
It's also now, you've talked about, it's 8 rounds in a row that were lost. An 8-2 scoreline. The difference is now just 2. That's how close Paper X have managed to bring this. Going on to their favored side, the B site under serious pressure. Half the team still waiting patiently. Karen's reposition is sublime. He's managed to TP behind them.
Cara berdua anjing.
Brilliant from Karen.
Aneh jing.
He's put the rank play into the pro play.
And it works. You know, sometimes you just got to throw out those curveballs. You're focused on so many different things. You don't think the Lunatic's going to be up top, but my goodness, what a reposition from him. And clearly one that wasn't expected on the other side. And again, we fall back into economy discussion around this squad. They've been sitting pretty. They've been looking fantastic. They were able to obviously rebuy in this round because of the damage done early on. And well, they only really needed one of those rifles by the looks of things. A timeout called by Paper X as they can now feel that it's getting very late into this game. We're at a stage where if Gen G picks up one more, they'll be knocking on victory's door. So, yeah, 17 and 14. He's had a great game, but I think that double kill from Munchkin, that tripled his kills.
Mindfreak.
I said Munchkin, sorry, I meant Mindfreak.
Yeah.
Munchkin's been doing well.
Yeah, Munchkin's going to
He's been
triple his
cracking.
kills. That'd be impressive. But yeah, no, Mindfreak's definitely had a quiet performance. I also
Wih ada nobar gini, yoi coy, kita nobar gak sih coy?
Other than
Lagi males main kok.
It's been a little bit underwhelming. It's been other players stepping up in this matchup, and I think that's really what we're seeing at the moment is the depth of both teams individually, but more so just that interplay. I think we're seeing much better fundamentals out of Gen G, and it's mostly been those explosive plays from Paper X, like going off the back of a paranoia, diving in together, and you see if it's even a slight bit disjointed like that round, Karen just pulls out a crazy play and is able to win the round for them. 10-7, as you said, everything on the brink here. Seekers available. On the other side, a Blade Storm as well for Meteor, but I don't know if he'll use that in this round unless he sees the value.
Mantap, tar jangan lupa di hide
Paranoia, but this is a
stream videonya. Lah emang kenapa? Biar gak copyright kah? Sakit jing. Oh, bukan co-stream. Oke, makasih infonya. Gimana nih? Kalah gini, Cok. Dicek.
He's being put down. And for PaperX, they look to take it elsewhere, but those steps are heard. Meteor's in position, unbeknownst to them. You might have her trail, but, well, it's a little more difficult to deal with her cleanly. Mind Freak, the last man standing, 1v3, and Munchkin's already spotted him. He's a known quantity with a flank underway. Munchkin just needs to buy some time, back off.
Tuh, disiplinnya JJ itu ngeri nying. Belakangnya di push. Lagi dapet sih.
It was brought up by Lakia in the halftime interview that he believes that like playing with someone like Munchkin has brought a lot of depth to his own playstyle. You can just see the intelligence even in this round. He literally just called Mind Freak towards him. He had no plans to fight him at any stage. Wants to just play the higher percentage play, and that's why Genji have been able to convert a lot of these advantages. And for PaperX, a lot of the time I don't mind these gambles, but I feel like Forsaken has been one of the sort of glimmers of hope. So you were almost going, he has to get something, otherwise it's just now a push without him going into the site, and it didn't work with him.
You know, the thing is for PaperX right now, at an eye test, you might think it's not doom and gloom. 11-7, 4-round gap, it's not that bad. It's a chance for them to fight back, albeit here with weaker weapons, but they've looked good there. The problem is, they've won 4 of those 7 rounds off the pistol and follow-up. Like, the injection of rounds early makes this look like a much closer game than it is, but Genji have been dominating in rifle rounds. Now they've got 4 ultimates to fall back on, up against weaknesses, but no Lakia. A big opening kill for the side of PaperX, as Heaven could now be theirs. Genji might start to panic, might make a mistake, and with Munchkin inside the smoke isolated, that might just be the mistake they were looking for.
Oh, this could be big! He actually switches away, and it's just going to be the shutdown. Surely from Meteor. He starts off the round and ends it as well. 12-7.
Sakit sih.
This map looking over. As you said, in terms of buy rounds, we've barely seen anything. 3 of them.
Bisa gitu, makanya bisa gitu. Gue juga bingung anjing.
5 in a row up against 4 ultimates. Only the Blade Storm that's gone. Like keep
Sing.
with a Viper's Pit, with a Showstopper from the shadows. And so that's a lot for this defensive side to close out this game. If you remove those ultimates, it looks like
Gelo. Disiplinnya tadi sih yang di
individuals, and they need to show up individually and together. 5 in a row needed, and the challenge already underway.
Bunuh satu orang aja ganggunya gitu, Cok.
Lakia in the corner, but they expect it. He's stuck in the
nice
utility usage in this round. It leaves now Karen. He's had some magical plays, but they know exactly where he is. Well, it seems so. Monia goes bouncing past him. Now there is a flank, and no one really watching it, although it seems like Texture was doubting the player behind. Saw a 1v1 taken, but it won't matter in the end. A 1 versus 5. Some serious
nice.
It's going to put him down immediately.
Okay, there it is.
Ya, masih bisa. Aman coy.
For this squad, they've actually managed to deal with the vast majority of the ultimates as well there, Tom. Genji are left now with just a Viper's Pit. We listed all of them last round. They got used, they found nothing. So not only winning a buy round, but winning a stacked buy round in terms of ult economy. And they've still got some left to play with themselves. The Blade can help out. The Pit can win rounds. And with 4... Genji are finally seeing some negative economic state. They're all peak from Lakia was not expected. Good flash too, and it's a double. He's got his teammate Meteor with him, and they're absolutely extinguishing the flame of PaperX's early fight. This squad's gonna have to go back.
Cepetan gak sih?
Yeah, I like this. Just a direct counter. These A-side takes have been one of the major problems. Viper's Pit, although they might just about win 2 duels. a little bit dangerous, spamming. And because of that, being able to get rid of Meteor is a big pick, because that was looking like map control and a man advantage for Gen G. Instead, much more of a problem. And also bear in mind, Lackey is the only one who can't be healed.
B-nya udah ada 2.
This, I mean, that cam there is very important. Just seeing something clear the spawn, you see how much space they lost. Because this Viper's Pit isn't just stopping a push, it's stopping all of
Ada apa gak ada itu? Gak ada anjing.
They get slowed, they get stopped, and now they have to go back and re-clear everything. Even if there's not a player flanking, if they're just pushed up in B main holding that aggro intel, you're going to find it very hard to actually dive in. Now this TP is to B site. Up top, it's going to be broken last second with something down below. Spawn taken down. Gen G have the advantage. They're going to challenge Munchkin inside the pit. And what a mistake that was. Welcome to his world. With Munyet, the last man standing, and a free kill presented. He's got 3 more to go.
15 seconds.
He's found the 4Ks in the past, Dom, but this would be exceptional. Good luck.
Wah, ente.
Good night.
GG lo cowok keras anjing.
Of that Viper's Pit with the spike, they needed to clear that man out immediately.
Ada di tim anjing Gelo Gen Z singkatannya GG anjing.
What a performance for the side of Gen G.
It's even more impressive considering Munyet on PaperX, a player that we've highlighted again and again, that was a big talking point, not just from the desk, but even from the team themselves when they were being interviewed. And he comes out fragging. The calls were good. We had some good fake plays, but at the end of the day, this was a Gen G map. 13-8 doesn't sell it. This was convincing. And now they move on to their pick of Lotus after this.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
Gives you wings. Life hands you bad lemons. Try and make lemonade. Easy on the sugar cane. Switch it to agave. Gave it all I had left. I can't do agape. My conditions written out. Take it up with God. Hey, you can pay me for my time though. And it all on the high note. I don't like to say goodbye. Found out I'm probably Irish. Deep down, feeling down, hold a smile like it's August. Seeking answers, all I found is.
Nambahin apa lagi ya?
You can't tell me what's good for me. You can't tell me what's good for me. You can't tell me what's good for me. You can't tell me what's good. You can't tell me what's good for me. You can't tell me what's good for me. You can't tell me what's good. If everybody jump right now with the world crack. Feel the bang in your head like it's whiplash. Can you feel that? All this back and forth to be free. Cause you can't tell me what's good for me. If everybody jump right now with the world crack. Feel the bang in your head like it's whiplash. Can you feel that? All this back and forth to be free. Cause you
Hey guys, Mika Fabs here, and I'm with Solo and Jen here to help with some translation. So Solo, of course, a lot of teams talk about how Paper Rex is a very shocking team to play against if you don't know them well, but Genji does know them well. So how do you as a team dissect their style?
페이퍼렉스가 익숙하지 않으면 그 플레이 스타일에 상당히 당황하기 마련인데 좀 젠지 같은 경우에는 페이퍼렉스 스타일에 대해서 충분히 잘 알고 있고 잘 분석이 돼 있잖아요. 페이퍼렉스를 상대로 좀 어떻게 경기를 풀어나가려고 하셨나요?
일단 페이퍼렉스가 진짜 많이 공격적인 팀이다 보니까 피지컬을 앞세워서 게임을 많이 하는데 저희 또한 피지컬이 지지 않는다는 생각을 하고 있거든요. 그래서 저희도 공격적으로 하자는 식으로 많이 얘기를 많이 하고 있고요. 그런 게 좀 잘 되는 것 같아요. 네, 저희가 피지컬이 좀 더 좋은 것 같아요. 지금. 네.
Of course, PaperX infamous for their W gaming, but I feel like Genji players can match up to their firepower as well, and I feel like we're shooting more heads too today. So we just came into this matchup with the mindset of, you know what, fight aggressive teams with aggressive attitude. Don't be afraid to take those fights. Don't give them too much respect, and I feel like we're just having a really good day overall.
Yeah, it's looking really good for Genji, so thank you very much. Let's see if they can close this out.
It's not just a good day, they've had a great tournament so far. I'm Yingsu and I'm back here with Mimi and Hypok. You heard it from Solo there. They're confident, they're hitting their shots, they know how to deal with PaperX. And Mimi, it's not looking great on the other side.
Yeah, to be quite honest, I think that Genji looked like a better PaperX in this game, right? They had the ridiculous individual moments, they had the pop-ups, but they also had excellent fundamentals. You compare the info these two teams were getting on their defense with the Sky Util. Genji was always on point with the rotations, setting up reclears, swinging together, whereas PaperX looked like a team who was, playing for the individuality.
Yeah, and the telling thing for me is Genji willing to step into that zone with PaperX, where, you have the flood pre-techs or, stacking up bodies and looking very aggressive engagements.
Absen bang, kacau gini map 1. Iya cok, anjing. Aneh anjing, map 1 anjing. Genjinya juga ngeri sih. Genjinya ngeri, disiplinnya tinggi. Ya karakter Genji emang gitu kan. Disiplinnya tinggi, aimnya juga tajam. Lakiannya antara Lakia sama Karon gak sih yang kurang biasanya? Ini Lakianya menyala bangku. Lagi feeling it sih. Kayak mana ini? Lakia monyet menyala. Ajay, welcome back. Berapa jam lagi Nasir menuju rumahku? Anjas. Seru gini mainin. Aim lab yang ini kan dia practice mode yang kompe position. Asli monyet udah menyala padahal makanya cok.
can rely on those moments against lesser teams, can rely on those moments against a team that's not familiar with them, but Gen.G knows them so damn well. They're used to dealing with these individual plays and not letting it get past them.
I mean, we've been here before. I'm not expecting a smile from this man, but I am expecting a solution. Let's hear what Alex had to say ahead of map 2.
Hey guys, I'm here right now with Coach Alex of PRX.
Coach Alex.
That, you know, although the team struggled on that map, once the side switch and PaperX was on attack, you got some of that momentum back. And we do know that the team is a very momentum-heavy based team. So what do they usually need to hear, like maybe from you, in order to get that push, in order to, you know, get that swing into their favor?
I mean, usually momentum comes when you win some rounds.
Ada kan di suaranya kan? Kira nggak ada nih.
Figure out how to win the round. And then if it goes well, you know, then we can snowball.
And I guess calm them down a little bit and make sure that they get their nerves in check, yeah?
I guess so.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if PaperX can wrangle in those nerves and get map 2.
Alex, you've done this before. You made the comeback before. Come on, boys. I want to see them have some fire in their bellies.
Dude, Yinsu, we gotta get you down there. They need this energy for map 2 or they're gonna be in the lower bracket.
Nah, ini agent komposisinya beda kan? Biasanya for second dia main Lotus kan tanpa Sentinel kan biasanya. Nih gue yakin bisa sih, bisa sengit sih. At least sengit lah. Map 1 siapa win? Genji. Genji bang. Baru bangun anjay Bram. Rapi Bram mainnya Bram. Sumpah. Lower. Alam lower. Sabar dulu Mat, kita harus. Tapi bisa sih, menurutku bisa ini Cok. Kalau dibantai enggak tipis 13. Berapa Mat? Terus 8 Pak.
Now Tom, they come in with momentum on their backs and a map that they've put the prep into. For PaperX, it's looking like elimination might be on the line soon.
13-8. Oh 13-8 tuh. Let's go reset boy. Ujungnya Ramat lagi yang kerja kagak Cok.
I think this just allows him to do more damage. I like the start though from Gen.G. Okay. They had that 3-man push initially, didn't expect anybody to still be around the angle, and because of that,
Jason jaga C-nya nanti keren Cok. Pakai Odin, yakin gua. Tawan Dato, ada Viper. Nice. Wah.
The return. They're not expecting this many players to be on that defensive side already. Anchored down and they're winning the fights. Leaving the all alone, the 1v2, good damage done. And the follow-up, but he's out of ammo. He brought a knife to a knife fight. 3 kills already. This guy's been sensational.
Tuh kan Karon Cok. Karon tuh nyala anjing.
I'm not gonna go and reload.
Respected it.
I'll take you in the 1v1. Well, I'll win it out. And that
Piso.
we talk about the advantages and their conversions. What was that? 5v3 as they get into the site, they get the initial opener and they get an
Udah mau pensiun padahal. Mau pepek. Gitu nak Dimas main Omen.
To be able to convert, not the start they were looking for. And again, we're going to see the same proactive approach from the defense, constantly looking to garner extra control.
Gue mah nggak mau banyak omong Bram. Aduh, nyet. Hil. Gue lagi nggak mau debat Bram. Dapat 1 aja. Mati. Tekstur gitu Bram main race mamam tuh anjing. Tekstur anjing makanya Cok anjing. Oh main Guardian gitu Bram pakai race kilo lu ya.
might mean that we see a bit more of an A push, an opportunity to find something there.
Dan besok gue jemput habis itu ya. Habis buka ya. Itu buka dulu di kontrakan.
He's just proven my point, isn't he? You won't expect this off rip if you're Gen G, and a little bit of danger for texture. That crosshair's
Karena
up on his head.
tuh kan Odin cok, gue bilang mati anjing tapi anjing ada suara sniper. Please tekstur tuh aja gak bisa sumpah. Orang sakit cing. Karena dari lampu gak usah main pak. Kok lampu jing? Nice. Nice mati. Kebuka coy. Ush, timing. Itu dia tuh tekstur. Tekstur rumah lu anjing. Ya gue kemarin nge-add ID lu, Mas Yor. ID utama gue add. Biar punya temen gue. Alah. Udah gue cece oh, gue belum lihat. Udah cok, udah disiplin. Super.
He's already picked up 3, and now he's quickening his pace to the site. The time is so desperately low, and he doesn't know where Devi is. The element of surprise gets Paper X the kill.
Maaf deh bang.
But at what cost?
I understand wanting to earn those extra orbs up, but this is one hell of an overextension. Just constantly fighting versus a player that had a bulldog.
Untung David menang kok David anjing.
It's not the only thing getting smacked.
Abang Dapai. Oh.
For this attacking side, weakness is already seen. Chance for Gen G to shut down the way back through for Paper X very early on. We know this is a map that both teams can pull to tight contention, but with Gen G having done that extra work on it, picked it into this series. I'm worried for Paper X. It's early times just now, but with showstoppers online for both squads, we knew this was coming. Munyet's on the way, head caught on the arch on the way through. It slowed him down enough and actually bought some time for Meteor to escape. And for Munchkin to round the corner, no one's going to go down to that showstopper, but it's claimed a lot of space. Yeah. Oh, I realize how close
Karen is. He had to move because of the Tiger. Monya's going to try and aggress. This is risky. Multiple players on the other side. Showstopper, he should be dead. He actually almost manages to catch one. Even still, though, for Gen G, this
Aduh, something timing.
It's going from bad to worse for Paper X. They need to find a miracle through these spams. At least been able to get one, but they don't know if the player's still on the spike. The second tap will definitely help them out, but it's no, it's just going through. But Gen G, they break back immediately. And well, we mentioned them losing all their players. It's going to hurt now.
Yes, it absolutely is. Now you see the
something sih yang nggak jelas aja.
And then the chaos afterwards.
Stop pick gitu cok. What are you doing, guys?
They get shot in the back because that's the exact timing that Gen G go for the retake on all sides.
Type dapat
being kept through Lakia going way up in my estimations, let me tell you, buddy. And the
di
spams,
push.
well, they're not having too much success, but they don't need to. In this round, Paper X have basically nothing to play with. 4 sheriffs.
Well, also they've already taken the control. That's the main reason you've got.
Stop pick Olympic. Tolong mat.
Odin elsewhere. Not the most common door to spam because you are open to a couple of angles, but
satu.
And this is the thing. We've seen this scenario many a time. Find a kill, TP back. Karen is excellent at knowing when to reposition as well, so they can leave those. But this is ambitious.
Where is he going? Where is he going? He's made it just about around that corner, but well, that was risky. If they came through that whole time, I'm not sure that would have worked. He was thinking. Spray good for Munchkin. It's a narrow alleyway to fight in, and wow, that's a lot of damage. No chance for PaperX here. Of course, we did mention they have those weaker weapons. They don't have a lot to play with, and they'll get nothing done. A flawless round. I hate to harp on the economy, but Gen.G off to a flying start with it yet again. Yeah. It's feeling reminiscent of last map, but it is still very early days. Plenty of time for PaperX to find their footing. They don't want to waste time throwing rounds away. They've called a timeout.
That's the funny thing.
Sakit cok bentamnya orang-orang Korea tuh.
Well, we can just highlight when Gen.G don't have money.
Yep.
We'll just save time.
Yep. Yep. It's the play.
They've had it the whole time throughout the series. I like the pause though coming out from PaperX because this has been rough. And even looking back versus KC, they struggled when it came to this attack inside. A lot of that was a bit of a peculiar composition, but I don't know if this one's looking any better for them right now. Also, it has a lot of reliance, again, on this double duelist. And there was a moment or two at the beginning where I was like, okay, something looks like he's here to play. But ever since then, they're just getting boomed. And everyone on the other side for Gen.G has looked utterly fantastic. In this round at least, one off a Blade Storm. Showstopper, the only ult that isn't going to be playing a part in this round for either side. And Munchkin already having that Viper's Pit online. And clearly, this is a time where Alex needs to earn his money. Otherwise, I think PaperX are taking that fast track straight to the lower bracket.
I want to at least get that third map out. You know, officials are a different ball game to talking about regional play, especially against a team you've already played on that map. You're testing so many deeper things, and I think for them, bombing out like this in the uppers, it wouldn't speak well for what's to be seen, because Loud Sentinels, they're not going to be any easier.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't want to face up against either of those teams right now. Here we go, though. Again, early paranoia. I think this one is not really going to be played upon. I like the idea, again, using that haunt to get them space, but something, I think he's just going to disrespect the utility. Had enough of these pushes coming through. He is going to get pinged up. They know where he is.
Duh.
Texture's already there to support.
Heaven-nya nggak disemok.
They know that's not easy to fight from this angle, especially when the door gets open, and now he's dead.
Masih dapat.
That's what it's all about on Gen.G, filling in the spaces and being able to fight afterwards. But with a return from PaperX,
Heaven-nya nggak disemok.
the headshot angle held by Mindfreak, but Meteor's just ducked underneath it, playing the limbo, and he's winning this game with Mindfreak down. It's 45 HP and a dream turned to a PaperX losing out on another. They had a good
Padahal udah bagus cerita space-nya anjing. Si siapa tadi?
every gap that Gen.G were trying to stuff.
Padanya udah ke pojok. Si Lakia ke pojok, ke tri. Udah bingung masuk tuh. Menyet sama ini nih. Udah ini cok.
This is one of those things as well where Meteor's in a 2v2 scenario.
Lower.
Just get both kills and his teammates still rotate.
Beli apa mat? Aku dihapus anjing. Lu ngetik ke siapa mat? Ayo lu mat.
That was again another big round for PaperX. A lot invested, even having some decent early trades, but it isn't to be. And now, well, Bladestorm is really all we could talk about, and they're still ready for his initial play. Almost goes down, but has managed to dodge that singular bullet fired by Texture.
Yeah, I think is that sending them elsewhere.
Klasik Gen.G. Oke, kita beli. Kita giveaway gak sih mat? Gelo gak sih mat?
Was thrown at a few of those little feelers. But the idea now is you can't play up against that op. This ain't the round for it. Your Bladestorm's already gone, and everyone else has pistols. Close range, numbers advantage is the way to go, and they've done it. At least trading out the first.
Giveaway 1 tapi
He has been consistent every single time they've challenged him. This guy's coming up with multiple.
timing nice.
Ready to swing, and luckily because Karen was dropped very quickly, so too is Meteor. Hell, it's winnable for Divine, but his knife was pulled out. Tried to evade some spams or some.
Nanti gue yang menang ya bang. Kalau udah kemarin mah dapat itu hadiah. Tapi boleh ikut.
Again, PaperX have made some of these rounds look somewhat competitive, but Gen.G are consistently able to clutch out the late round. Again, as you said, ults are in their favor, finances are in their favor.
Emang Pepe kecewa. Pepe kecewa. Gimana orang-orang kok kalau
shot from Texture already puts down Munyet.
Cok sakit cok sumpah nih orang anjing.
As well. We see the aggression, we try to take space elsewhere. Denied on A because Gen G are getting aggressive. Give them PaperX a taste of their own.
Flashnya ada bagus, cok, aneh.
With 4 ultimates to fall back on, 3 of which will help you out if you're in a pinch. For PaperX, where do they go? Where do they take it? Maybe they can get a neural theft if they can even drop a body. And they cannot.
Timing.
That's something dropped. That's off down, and he's looking for a little bit more. I don't know where they're going to take this on the attack, but I think I know what the result will be regardless.
Forsaken's been quiet as well, and reposition. Nice shot at least. Will make things a little bit more interesting. The reveal as well will tell exactly where their opponents are. Knowing there's only one player here, the turret though.
Ya, udah Pai.
Again, full sprinting to help his teammate out. It gets close for a matter of seconds, but continue their utter dominance in this match. 7-1 on the defense. I don't know. Yeah, second pause is going to be called for PaperX. At this point, I feel like they're running out of ideas. I also just did tidbit as well. Last 3 times, Gen G have played and won this map. 8 rounds on attack, 9 rounds on attack, 9 rounds on attack. They're 7-1 up on defense. No, I would say that's very bad if you're a PaperX fan.
That's quite poor. Yeah, and the reality is for PaperX, you're looking at the last time they played this map against this squad again. You know, I was looking back at that series, which worked perfectly for me today because it's the same maps. But the funniest thing is something. He was on the Reyna and he was popping. He was doing well. Will I say justified a Reyna pick? Maybe not. But we know on a good day he absolutely can.
Piye kicok.
What agent he's playing, he's having a damn tough time. 2 and 8. Compare that to Split last time. Finding so many opening entries on that attack side. Now listen, I'm going to be the last person to complain about Jet dying on the attack, right? Often that's your job. But here we haven't seen those dive plays as consistently. At least that hasn't been the crux of their attacking side. The problem is, how many rounds have we seen where literally 10 to 15 seconds in, it's 3v5. No control, no benefit for it. One guy goes down, they push somewhere else, that guy goes down, then they sit there with nothing to do.
Think about the spots that Gen G are also willing to claim. Like, they pushed out 2 players in all the way past Mound. They weren't even holding the deep angles anymore because what's the point?
And
they're
they pushed
try
A
and swing through
with 2 players in the same round.
Yeah.
Right? So like this is the thing. You even peek your head out and go, oh, are they rubble? Yep, they are. I'm dead.
Yep, they're everywhere.
Now we have no advantage. We're playing
They're going to
from
push
behind.
B. It looks like they are. Insta smoke. B control being taken by 3 players. Just waiting to see if the push will come through in that direction. It's going to allow them the fast take back of this control. Paranoia immediately put through. The trade's not awful in the beginning, but they quickly divulge into nothing for the side of PaperX. Forsaken trying to claim it back though. Finally, he comes alive.
Well, this is the round that he needed to wake up in. That spike is theirs, and they can walk it straight to the C site once that door is closed. 16 HP, Mind Freak on 42, but Texture's got an op and an nade. And there's a snake bite left. This could be very, very dangerous indeed. For now, though, Texture's not deploying the nade. Instead, sitting down, op in hand, 16 HP, turned to 0. Nice shot with the operator as Mind Freak now has a nade below him. He's safe. Up top, he's got the angle, could even pick off Munchkin. That could make it winnable.
Bener lo lihat situ
It's just like, he's got an op. As a negative, and then it's like, no, never mind.
Wide swings it. Like, all right, we're quick scoping now, but that's the level we've hit for Gen G. 8-1, Tom. Yeah, I almost wanted to say coming into this map, well, it can't get any worse. It just has. It was 8-2 at least last time.
Yeah, it definitely is looking like a golf in class. Which, again, considering this is the #1 and #2 from the same region, that we've already seen them play a best-of-5 series that was a 3-1, and a lot of the maps are close. It looks like Gen G have leveled up, and for PaperX, I don't know if they've fallen off, because that's looking like the difference between these two is not the same we've seen before. All 5 ultimates, by the way. Gen G don't need them. That's actually the point we're in. They don't need the ults. They're just winning the rounds anyway.
Normally you'd be thinking at this point, oh, let's just throw 1 out just to see.
There you go.
There it is. Okay. Cycle the economy a little bit. Here comes the big
Yeah.
and it's not landed. It's not found the value it needed to.
Flashnya jelek, timing.
Down quite a bit.
That's the value, right? That's the value. They got rid of the they got rid of the lockdown, so they can at least claim some space. He's screwed. There's no way he survives that.
PaperX a chance, Tom. They haven't planted the spike, but they don't need to if they win these fights again and again, and they have. Lakia drop, leaves Munchkin 1v3. If he wins this, I'm putting the headset down. They've got decent amount of HP, and they've lost Mind Freak. Okay, but it's all right. They've still got 2 players, no utility to play with. They're gonna just take these fights, not one at a time. That's the only thing I beg of you. Not one at a time, not up against Munchkin right now. He's 11-4.
Kalau ini menang aku menaruh headset. Nice posisi juga. Casternya udah hopeless anjing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They lose the rounds, they use the ult. That's the weird thing about it. And again, a lot of this just came down to some brilliant individual play from Something, finally putting a couple of kills on the board. The fact is they did peak Munchkin individually. First player peaks, dies, second gets dinked, and it's only finally they reposition. I think we would have needed a new desk completely for Alex if they managed to lose that round, but it's scary that it even got close.
I think just get rid of the desk, man. Punching bag with an LED screen in it.
Whose face is on it?
It depends on the game. Make it interchangeable. Well, Forsaken's picked off Karen. That's a fantastic kill. Look how open the A side is, and they've made that realization. There's no further challenge. There's no utility.
Timing.
There's no reaction.
Son timing.
So Forsaken realizes it's wide open, and he gets. That timing was near perfect.
Jason timingmu, Jason.
He has to just be clearing those, constantly being paranoid about them. The site though is lost, and PaperX will find the plant nonetheless.
Showstopper online, not wanting to allow them to set up. Something's going to try and get aggressive, but he's not going to manage to land the shot. Now I think the flash through the back might have actually caught Munchkin, so he's going to actually reposition through B instead. Move away.
Udah ulti texture.
Position's open. I think it's because Divide's having to check too many angles. The Seekers at least will give it away. Showstopper has been thrown in. He might get caught by all of the Seekers, but his teammates got his back, and that means he'll be able to kill off Mind Freak. The remaining players a bit of an obscure position. Munyet has not been cleared yet, and because of that, he's going to be able to deny the defusal. The spam doing so much damage, and now it's all on to Divide with
Wah, Dapai.
shot miss, but he just needs to kill the guy defusing, and he's done enough. There's no time left.
Nice. Bang Dapai nge-whiff OP-nya ada. Apa nice.
Didn't have the pistol to help them out. They were both on the previous map, putting them up 4 rounds, and they ended on 8. But here, they're
Cing, mapnya segitu kecilnya, Cok.
They're doing it in the clutches as well, as close as they may come. It's still giving them that little bit of a heartbeat to continue on forward now.
Jason sih timingnya jelek, Cok. Bunuh orang stair. Case-nya turun. Ada fade. Udah laki ya.
Man, it's scary when it's a Red Bull clutch that gets you your 3rd round, but as long as they're getting the rounds, I don't think they're going to mind too much. This battle is now changed. It was previously Karon being solo, and now it's Texture, and his operator has been fierce.
Sakit tuh orang ini emang. Tekstur.
Looks like they're going to go back into it. Is there a flash? Is there anything? No. No, it's just a dry, wide peek by Munyet. Players up top looking to trade, but Texture's out of the angle too quickly. PaperX have given him another shot, and it looks like another bite of this apple. As around comes another, but finally the miss is there. Texture gets the reset though with low HP. He's dancing around, but he's being caught. There was no escape this time, and with Lakia falling, a real chance.
Nice.
For an 8-4 half. It looks like PaperX have finally woken up. They've found some punch to be packed. Let's see.
Udah yang di drop diem aja, yang di drop anjing.
Close with a teammate further away. Munchkin's making a lot of noise. They're trying to find an angle to deal
with.
Instead, running into Meteor. Well played. Now they can group up.
Damsu 2.
This 2v2 with the Viper's Pit. That was a little scary. Thought Munchkin was about to be spammed, but now they've got a lot of space as they close in the distance. No snake bites to play with though. That could help out, keep them way out of this pit. And with Munchkin falling, it's done.
Wah, nice.
8-4 at the halftime. They found some legs to stand on, some foundations laid. But the second half will be tough if they lose the pistol.
Yeah, it's almost identical to what we saw in the last half.
TPC.
A streak of rounds. That's just disgusting. I was thinking from Forsaken's point of view, I didn't even really see anything. That's how good texture has been. But again, it's those player deficits that are actually what turn the tides over there. Well done from PaperX to at least get something.
Well, Tom, it's time now to toss this one over to Divide, who had some words to say earlier.
I think it's like a stressful game. I feel like, for me personally, I feel like we are playing against ourselves because the way they play is kind of like similar, you know. I mean, trying to outsmart them. I mean, they were very good. I would say they are smart and they're kind of like one step ahead, especially on Lotus. We kind of like way behind them. Yeah, I think we were taking too easy, I think. I mean, they did exactly what we were watching them, like in the VODs, like they play the same, like they are not scared, even though this, like, I think for some of them it's like their first time in Masters. And yeah, I mean, very surprised with how they actually perform.
Monye going to be put to test, put to task. Oh, that's rough. Blinded, and Monye just popping off. Yeah, Farmer even spotting the right there. Over towards Shybox, this guy's on for it. He's absolutely on the money today.
Genji, I mean, the good thing is probably we might be able to get some revenge, you know. I mean, we lost to them in the Pacific kickoff, and yeah, I mean, I think texture is giving us a lot of problem, like just killing us.
Bang, nggak ke DC lagi kah? Nggak. Gue males debat nih anjir.
Karon was playing insane as well, even though he's a newcomer. But I think he's probably like the top player in the league. I think he got MVP as well in the Pacific kickoff, and yeah, I mean, insane. Yeah, maybe we go back and cook some strats, you know, to cook these two.
Well, Divide has certainly been cooking 15-9, exiting that first half with the next closest player being something. Pretty good player, pretty well respected. He's got 6 kills, almost a third of what
Debat Pak Corsair.
It's been tough for the side of PaperX. They haven't found a lot of success, but that little
Lagi nggak mau ngabisin energi.
it's given them a chance here. We want to see them take the pistol though.
Yeah, we want this to be a competitive match that it definitely has not been. Genji looking like a competitor for the crown, and thus far we haven't seen the PaperX that we know and love. This pistol round
Nice.
be a deciding factor, but a great
Typical PaperX. Pistolan pasti nge-push. Fokus skripsian. Skripsian aja puyeng. Suruh nginuin orang ini.
Waiting for the cavalry to arrive as the rest of the team somewhat far away. An opportunity, but Forsaken with a good trade.
Keeping the numbers in their favor. Something needs to do a little bit more. He's done some damage, and
Nice.
the follow-up. A shot right to Texture's temple. That's going to put us in a 4v2 with
nginu.
now Forsaken fallen. A little bit more of a chance. Something though delivers. Okay, he's up top and not spotted. Easy.
Nice. Tuh, beli Sovereign. Sovereign goes anjing.
Just him having confidence, because you look at some of the fights he's taken and
Gacor. Where to buy. Seperti yang Nugget bilang, beli Sovereign. It's a good for your goals.
Get the orbs rolling on the duelist, which is exactly what's happened thus far. Get that sniper into his hands. This game can definitely slip back. As said though, for the majority of the matches we've seen, be it
Mancing aja nanti lah.
Genji have been much more consistent on their attack.
Pistol win then was essential.
Debat apa tuh?
Now the follow-up looks easy. Very little to play with for Genji, and even if they drop something, he's the player that's rocking with the pistol. So the margin for error's already been reached here. Any further kills will be costly, will force some level of reinvestment from the side of PaperX. But on the defense, they can keep distance, and with the buy that Genji have, they're definitely not favored on ranged fights.
Solo, but you can see the rotation already coming out from Monye. Jump peak will give him the info to go back in with that Marshall. This is a round that they shouldn't really have any opportunity to win. The weaponry not falling into their hands off the kills they've garnered, and the players they're pushing into are actually just going to start pushing into them. A good round from PaperX as they manage to bring things again back within 2. The fact is, it has been the buy rounds where Gen.G truly have been a level above.
Well, just look at your screen. Besides something, this is a round that often you're going to look at as an eco, but 3 orbs away from a blade storm means he can force up here, buy an operator, and
Operator
potentially
anjing,
the blade storm.
gila.
Even if they lose the round with how consistent he normally
Sovereign mah di Sovereign anjing, Sovereign. Sovereign lagi di rumah, cok, ngerayain ulang tahun.
It also means they can gamble the control. They've got
GL gak dulu.
aggressive position from Munyet. This is not really the gun you want to have here. Somehow he gets out of there unscathed. They also had an initial setup for players outside C, but after that spot comes through, fading back. Now the cross has already happened, so something now in a pretty deadly position. And honestly, I think Meteor's a little bit lucky there to even get one.
Well, here's the chance for that operator to finally show its ugly face. Ugly for the side of Gen.G as they lose a player right off rip. And it's Texture, the man with the responsibility to take the space to close the distance.
Nice, yang jago udah mati.
Which is just perfect for something.
Lah.
Be watching the right way though, and Munchkin caught him unaware. The same happens with Divide though, leaving it to a 3v2 defensive advantage and Divide walkabouts. He's been so good. 19 kills, looking for his 20th and his 3rd of the round. And it looks like he might. Oh, he will get the opportunity, but he's being dropped. Doesn't matter because Munyet's there to catch him when he falls. 8-7, and now this gets me excited for PaperX. That round.
Good luck, gelo. Gak butuh disemangatin, Mas Nasir.
After the initial spot that there was at least one player lurking, they know
Butuh joki.
potentially steal a gun away. So they 3-man push. Even a trade there's not too bad, knowing there's some things on the other side. And even though he only gets 1 kill, he does enough to delay and allow for those rotations. Devi as well though, as you said, he's been fantastic. 19 and 10, topping the entire scoreboard right now. Something once more. They know he's going to be here. They know there's a high chance he'll be here, and they're actually going to really put the pressure on early.
I don't mind this from Gen.G. They have players lurking elsewhere. Trap just got broken on B. So now for PaperX,
Aduh, nak joki nggak bisa bantu, bisanya joki Iron ke yang betul. Nice. No, berhenti. Dipotong, cok.
Good position has been noted. As we said earlier, they know that trap was broken. They know there could be someone around here. It's why you see Devi wait for Mindfreak, wait even for the plant to come through, while Munyet finishes this flank. Looks like they're aware. Well, they're very much aware that something is going on. I mean, PaperX have.
Besok kan kamu kesini.
Why are they not trying to fight for any?
Emang kesini nggak ngapa-ngapain, ngapa-ngapain lah. Bantu skripsiku.
About their spawn, they're actually going to go fighting aggressively. This could be a big win if it comes through. Nice work from Meteor. 1 bullet left. And nothing being spotted towards the spawn. This means they know where they are.
Aku dipaksa bantu skrip. Babi kalah.
He does it alone. Meteor's going to confirm the Mastercard Thrifty. I'm always looking.
Aku dipaksa. Meteor anjing. Meteor. Teksturnya mati ada meteor. Meteornya mati ada Lakia. Lower. Kok kalah cuy, sabar.
Well, fine then. I guess that was the right play.
Well, uncouth, but it works this time. Certainly caught his opponents off guard with Gen.G 9-7 and claiming that round. PaperX.
Lakia mati.
An operator in the hand of something.
Look at where he is.
Emang iya mati?
It's not really an opping angle normally, is it?
Enggak, maksudku tuh kok tekstur mati ada Lakia.
It's faded out. The Munchkin, the shot's missed. And Munchkin's been given a second chance at life while the showstopper is again just. Oh, I thought just used for space, but if he fires it.
Lakia mati ada Karon anjing.
And now he realizes his mistake as the dive comes in from PaperX. They've got a lot to work with.
The old Stoke should be, well, in theory, forcing them back, but it hasn't happened at all. They went aggressive, made this one problematic. Spike already planted at least. So they're going to have to respect it and just fall back. Munchkin still holding. And they have a pretty nasty
Ngalah semua cowok ini.
crossfire just with the amount of time
Oh itu kok gak dipencet ya?
looking at that clock. That's all he really aiming for, sitting back, waiting for the push. He manages to land
Nice.
onto the second. The PaperX respond in turn, a back and forth so far in this second half, and they close the gap once again to just one round.
Well, that's the response and resurgence we wanted to
Bisa ini mat.
this game, this map, and indeed this series
He would have
is hanging
killed
on a knife's
something if
edge.
he just shot the bullet.
Tekstur ternyata bagus. Apa sih Bram? Bagus, gaus.
Do you gamble it? Do you not? And well, he chose wrong. Chips on the wrong color. Well, 9-8. And for PaperX, it looks like they've
Bagus oh. Ya cowok RRQ dulu gak mau beli tekstur ya? Malah beli Estrella ya. Beli Kim yang lain. Dapat 2. Wow. Gelo. Paperik. Let's go Paperik. Walaupun desnya maju beredes tak apa-apa. Yang penting masih dapat 2. Malah desnya kayak cheesy. Yang betul kau. Ayo Genji, welcome Mas Dani. Guys, Genji Paperik lah. Tuh kan Karon nyala kan.
He'll find it hard to get any impact from this point. A stray bullet enough to take him down, but he's caught Karen off guard. The flash covers his retreat. No more flashes, and they don't regen anymore. An opportunity still. No, shut down. 2 versus 3. Viper's pick could change the game.
They're trying to get in as quickly as humanly possible, but Meteor's there to defend. Leaves it onto something. As said, he's had a real resurgence. They just fall back to enable the reload. Never mind, he's just looking to reposition completely. I think they know exactly where he is.
Dapat. Bawah, cek bawah.
Malaki is the one to take it home. These rounds are getting insanely close. And it's a back and forth once again.
Klasiknya busuk. Kayak mana ini? Halah, lower.
For PaperX, an immediate answer back by Genji, but the fact that it comes down to this, that the Viper is dropped outside the pit, and then that's the result. Clean as can be with a final right click to close it. Genji, they've got a lot set up in front of them, Tom. There is a showstopper for Munyet. Other than that, everybody is just on the rifles. Credits are low. Genji could be on the home street.
They don't have backup credits. They don't have anything in their pockets.
Enggak.
This could be the beginning of the end.
It feels that way, Tom. 2-round gap. Genji in this series have just been miles ahead when it came to these rifle rounds. And again, it seems strange that 13-8, to talk about it as a dominant game. Yes, it is a strong score line, but not damning for the other side. But when you look at both pistols, that's a 4-0 start. Based off of coin flips, and PaperX managed to just about come ahead. When it came to rifle rounds, they weren't able to succeed. Now early push, it's not quite a rifle, instead it's a set of blades. Those don't even get fired off. They lay by his side as he falls to the floor.
Aman ya coy. Ya udah ini cok gigi cok.
There seems to be nothing that PaperX can do to surprise this Genji roster in the last few rounds.
Gak biasa. Oh gitu mat, gak biasa mat.
These players, they have to be feeling the crushing weight of this series. The lower bracket is beckoning them, and there they'll face elimination against the Sentinels who are allowed. There's no easier fight for them than a team that they know. The devil they don't is coming.
Seems like Genji have got their number. This round at least was a weaker investment, but they had to use one of the old. Absolutely nothing. And the second we've got into these post plants, that's where Gen.G have looked their most fearsome. A team from last year that started strong, had a massive fall from grace, made a huge overhaul of this roster with risks taken. Players brought back who had been at a Masters right at the beginning of Valorant, a player they got from Ranked, and players that have not found success elsewhere. Texture, one I think we can really highlight. Like in G, he was okay. But to go into a Gen.G roster that's now playing for a minimum of top 3 if they win this match, unheard of, surprising, and now looking like that pinnacle of Pacific, looking to try and do what no Pacific team has ever done before, take themselves to an international victory. PaperX are not dead, not down, until you stamp them out.
Definitely looking injured. The path to recovery, 3 straight rounds in OT in a third map. A lot of win conditions. For Gen.G, 3 ultimates to fight their way through. PaperX don't have reactive ones, not impactful ones. Whereas the lockdown, the showstopper, and of course the nightfall. Any one of those can open sights.
3 ulti bagus semua anjing.
Door open. That was the defenders, but it's covering Munyet's push forward. Problem is, okay, good nade up close. That's going to force the open. Problem is, Texture was covering it. And now the push on mid is spotted as well. 3 players left for PaperX. And it looks like they've still got a fight in them. Nightfall won't evade it. He's being caught. But, oh, it's fake information. The Shrouded Step has bought a little bit of an advantage for Mindfreak because he's still alive, his HP recovering, but with something down. And Divai, very much known towards that spawn. Mindfreak's on the wraparound, wants to move towards that singular door. For this, Divai needs to buy some time. He still has a flash to play with. There it goes. It's popped and it's cleared out this corridor.
Nice.
Divai's even won the fight. The smoke is down. A chance if Mindfreak can make it to Divai, if they can take this fight together, but they don't know where the last players are. And the nade has even forced them back for a second. The time now very low. And with 2 players still to root out, it might be too low. Divai just dodges that scene. Mindfreak down. The time now.
Wah, GG.
Okay, no, Texture went out swinging. There's no chance. There's no chance.
Ya. GG.
It was never swinging the other way.
Ngalak ya. Sorry. Ente lower.
Pacific comrades. It's on the final.
Yeah, it is another huge statement play for Gen.G. No doubt at this stage that they wear the crown when it comes to Pacific. But that's not the crown they're gunning for anymore. They said it at the time. Their goal was to make it to the playoffs. Well, they've made it there, and they've continued to push forward in that upper bracket. A team has said that last year didn't really do too much. Didn't really give us much to be excited about. And then bringing together...
Mampus Baperek, haha. Kok gitu lu. Parah lu.
Expect to get this far. They continue in that upper bracket to fight off and be the representative as they face Americas, and they send the previous Pacific champion, a previous finalist of one of these events, down into the lower bracket.
The second map, although only one
Jago sih, emang jago. Bencana.
they earned their way back in from an 8-1 deficit to a close score.
Gen.G nih bos.
Gen.G take the victory thanks to map number 1, PaperX's pick, where they just didn't get started. And that's a big concern for them. Moving on to an elimination series next, they won't get a chance to have a slow start. They've got to come out swinging off the bat. They get to watch their opponents play, figure out who it is, take some notes. This is a very nice position to be in, and a chance to
Habis ini apa, Cok? Gantiin lah.
But that's always been the thing. Like, we talk about Pacific teams as a flash in the pan a lot of the time. You look at the Zeta run. You could even throw a Chinese team of EDG in there as well.
25 menit lagi. Locenti. Sentinel gila. Masa menang lot Sentinel lah.
Some coming from the tier 2 as well. They are an absolute joy to watch. And And the fact is, I don't know where this ends for them. They could genuinely be there lifting the trophy.
It definitely feels like they have a long road ahead of them. Hopefully,
King Sentinel lah, win gelo. Ah.
because this guy, he was good before, but now on the international scene, up against some of the best in the world, and he's leaving his mark. He's already left his mark, and it could get so much more.
Lot akan membalas. Kak jing, Lot menang jing. Ya kok Lot menang, Sentinel lah menang ini. Senti lover mulangin peprek wah bangke. Sentinel. Main gak sih? DM. Let's go laut. Ya mati lagi nih, kok copot ya itu gue ya. F. Lag lagi, sabar dong. Iya jing, putih jing, chatnya jing. Ah, kacau. Di. Jangan tweet, terus apa? Lalu apa? Oh iya itu aja. The Bramski gelo. Oke. Lebih lancar dunia Jogja. Yang betul. Gelo, keren gak sih? Gelo, keren. Gimana nih peprek? Bang Rin kayak mana? Kalau itu aja request terus ini viewer anjing. Jago cok, emang cok. Please makan kuota, iya makan kuota dia. Dokter sampai beli vandal, iya nih. Tapi aneh emang jago cok. Jago. Fundamentalnya dapet.
Warm up.
Sahur dulu lapar. Oke, aku di sini juga mau makan. Ya babi. Kilo aim texture. Ngelag.
Tango down. Astra's dead.
Ih tajam nih.
Dominating.
Bisa tajam gitu cok sekalian. Ya, gue yang cupu. Kaki asu. Tuh kan gue kok pakai kacamata gitu cok, aneh anjing. Walaupun aku minus ya, cuma main pakai kacamata tuh aneh anjing. Sumpah sakit jing ini sekali anjing. Kayaknya orang Korea pakai phantom. Iya cowok, phantomnya orang Korea tuh GG nih. Mau DRX kah? Atau mau inilah. Jadi overlaynya nyaru, iya ya, udah dimasukin itu. Please, thank you feedbacknya.
Remaining.
Oh, saya belum lihat kan awalnya. Kalau chatnya bakal seputih itu, jing.
One kill remaining.
Ya, aku yang mati, tai. Udah mulai belum guys? Belum, gak masih ada komentator, casternya. Wow, layout baru nih. Yoi coy. Gacor gak sih coy? Gila gak sih coy? Gila gak sih Hans?
Match found.
Tapi ini yang katanya Rahmat tadi, sarannya Rahmat ini buat kayak nunggu doang gitu, nunggu queue. Tapi kalau main pakai yang ini, kalian setuju nggak guys? Main pakai yang anjing. Oh belum gue itu cok.
Death match. Warm up.
Pas main Black Sin enggak ini nih. Belum gue setting. Cakapan yang mana kira-kira cok? Jangan cakep-cakep aja cok. Gue sih lebih enak ini, cuma kata Rahmat terlalu rame. Terus yang ini buat apa kok gitu? Gue juga bingung. Oh, banyak. Dayak tanpa kacamata nih, Jing, sini Jing.
Target down.
Aduh. Bola tai. Jadi busuk gini asu.
Okay. One less.
Ping gua naik. Lah nggak mati anjing. Jongkok terus anjing, apa ya?
Gecko down. Hostile down. Remaining. Kill confirmed. Scratch one. Five kills remaining.
Ya, so.
remaining.
GG. Sudah. Kita menonton Sentinel. Ya, Omen yang ini, Cok. Kira Omen joget anjing. Tididing. YouTube kah? Nonton yang mana, guys? YouTube apa guys? Valorant.
Event where they're playing these like Phoenix comps, it's not really working out. Here I think they really narrowed down their map pool. They showed maybe some weaknesses on Breeze, but on the maps that they're committed to, their Sunset, for example, they've looked excellent. The strategy is really coordinated. Players have also leveled up. Quick in their last game looked so much better than the rest of the season thus far. This is a Loud that always wakes up the deeper they get into tournaments. It seems like they find the ability to hit the peak at just the right time in like every event.
Yeah, and I think as well that they've already shown here that they are willing to kind of detract away from they're obviously busting out the Euro in particular, but QCK's individual performance across all the duelists has been pretty incredible. I keep saying that nobody plays this much Phoenix and comes out looking like, you know, a great duelist or a great individual player, but somehow he's doing it.
Yeah, you guys mentioned Les already, who's also having a great tournament. I believe he is standing by with Mika Fabs. Take a look at this. Not just quite yet.
What about this?
What about this?
I want to look at this, because this guy's stats have been ridiculous this tournament, but they are every time. Les is the consistent member of this squad. With Osmus out of the team, he's the #1 guy you have to look towards. He's always playing Viper, but he's competing with the star duelists in every role. The guy's ridiculous, and if Loud is going to win a trophy here in Madrid, it'll be because he's keeping that up.
Yeah, that was Les. We got Les as well because Les is more. So let's send it down to Mika Fabs.
Hey Les, I like that little groove you had going on a little bit back there. So you've been on the team for forever. You know how it's like when the team gets that synergy in order to win championships. I'm curious how this level of synergy has been from like the beginnings of this roster all the way up here to Masters Madrid. What's that journey felt like? We have Arthur here to help with some translation.
Oi Les, então, primeiramente eu gostei que você estava ali mandando uma vibe bem legal. A gente quer saber, você está desde o início com a galera, com o time, e agora com esse novo roster, vocês estão com a sinergia. A sinergia tá boa? Como é que tá a sinergia de vocês agora até o campeonato?
A gente está começando a evoluir, né? Querendo ou não, tá no início do ano. A gente está com um jogador novo, staff nova, então a gente está planejando a longo prazo, mas estamos evoluindo aos poucos no campeonato.
Overall, step by step, we're evolving not only in the championship because we also have a new player. We're working on with like new staff as well. So I would say we're just on the way evolving because overall it's the beginning of the year as well.
Well, eager to see the next step. Keep that vibe going and best of luck.
Thank you.
No confiaron, pero míralo. Llego con los míos y la grada explota. Le di la razón al que me quiso ver bien. Lo soñé en mi habitación y ahora en primera me ven. No te hablo del avión. Vine por mi cinturón. No confiaron, pero míralo. Llego con los míos y la grada explota. No confiaron, pero míralo. Llego con los míos y la grada explota.
These are two of the best teams Americas have to offer, but being here is about being the best in the world. And as it stands at this stage, it does feel like both of them have a great chance.
It's the new versus the old guard for Americas in this match. It's the third time they've played this year, and we're already into the veto, Mike. These teams have a lot of similarities in their strengths, and I think we're going to expect to see maps maps like Sunset, maps like Icebox that was just picked that both these teams love to play. This, honestly, what we're getting already is a bit of a rematch of that finals.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, well, actually, yeah, with Sunset to round things out. Massive concern to kick things off on Split. Obviously, two very polarizing results, obviously, regionally looking back at this, but last one being a 13-3. Sentinels absolutely slap loud about.
Yeah, Split is far and away the best map for Sentinels that we have seen thus far. They look lights out on that. In particular, their defense, their protocols, the way they set up for the retake, everything has been on point. And yes, so much of it is Zekken, and so much of it is also John QT. It feels like his calling is perfect on the defensive side of that map, on how this team sets up. This first map's going to be a challenge for Loud.
Yeah, just how close do you think this will be, though? Because the first match we saw today, very, very one-sided, also what we expected. But Hypok, do you feel like it favors one team or another coming into this?
I'll be honest, I do give the edge to Sentinels here. I don't think we're going to have a very clear-cut series, though. I think Loud may be looking to reinvent themselves once again and have that bounce-back factor. I don't think this is going to be an easy run.
Yeah, the question for me is, what has Loud changed? Because they haven't had to really show their split since that grand final. So there has been a bit of time to kind of look back, see what went wrong there. But even the best teams haven't been able to beat Sen there. I look more towards the rest of this pool. I think Icebox and Sunset, both teams are incredibly close on how they play. In particular, Icebox leads towards Louds. I really expect us to get a third map, to get Sunset, and that's so exciting because these teams are both excellent at the map, but with very different reads. One playing the Breach and the Phoenix, the other playing the Gecko composition. Both have these great retakes. Both have really cool ideas for how they take space on the map. Really hoping we get there.
Yeah, and I also, you mentioned a little bit of doubt perhaps in Sassy here, but Hypok, he's going up against Sadag. You know, they've been looking forward to this matchup for a long time. As we take a look at the Agent Select, how much pressure do you think is going to be on his shoulders?
Well, no surprise to see the compositions come out, but I do think it is a little bit concerning Sassy's performance in areas. But I mean, you could argue again, it's another one of those familiar opponents, very, very comfortable ground, and obviously regionally, Sassy's performances were above what we've seen so far in Madrid.
Sentinels are starting on the attack. A lot of this comp is built around how in the mid-round they take space for Zekken. I think shutting down Zekken has to be a priority for Loud. He is looking like the best player in the event right now, and if he can keep that up in this one, if he can get the openers for Sentinels, give John QT those options in the mid-round, the way they've been able to for most of this tournament, it's going to be really tough for Loud to recover.
Yeah, well, I've just been told that Brand and Sideshow are in fact contractually obligated to cast every single Sentinels game.
Akan guys.
Here they are, over to you guys.
That's extremely true. We have so much influence and power actually over Riot Games here at the caster desk. But excited to get started. Well, our second match of the playoffs, and it's bound to be a barn burner. We've already had it, you know, a sneak peek of it at least in the regional finals. These two teams clashed, and they're kind of taking over that mantle now. You know, me and you, Josh, we were talking about it just before we got into the game. But you know, you think of that Optic Core versus Loud matchup. That was, you know, El Clasico, and now maybe the passing of the torch over to this one. We've seen Sentinels versus Loud now many, many times so far in 2024, and it's always pushed both of these teams to great heights.
It's possible that we'll see it even later on in the playoffs too. We've yet to really discover which of these teams are going to be able to battle it out against each other and make it deep in a playoff kind of situation. Gen G looks scary. You do not want to be in the lower bracket if they end up down there at some point. Obviously, PaperX no pushovers either. But yeah, this is a really cool regional matchup that you have between these two teams. You know, last year we only had one regional title in Americas to fight over. That was Loud that ended up taking it away. This year with Kickoff, Stage 1, Stage 2, we're going to have 3 potential opportunities for regional fights like this. And then also all of the opportunities at Masters events or at Champions. Where Loud and Sen, they're not just fighting here for the rivalry, but they both believe, and I think a lot of the fans do too, that they've got a serious chance of being able to win the thing.
Every team does that's at this event as well. I mean, winning here in the playoffs, of course, you know, not in the danger zone just yet. There's not elimination on the line per se, but it does just, you know, stretch you ever so deeper into that tournament, into Madrid. Gives you a really decent chance as well of lifting that trophy, lifting that title, which, you know, every team here is looking to do.
Now that we've got a little bit of time too, just to dig into the map veto, it's going to be electric. You look at the opening map, the analyst desk has talked about it, and then Icebox, yeah, Loud won that in the 3-2 victory that Sentinels ended up putting up. But Icebox was close, man.
Really close.
And Sunset too. There's no guarantees that that goes the way of Sen again if we do end up going to 3.
Sen need a good start here, but I think for Loud too, they cannot afford to just get battered as they did previously. Hypok was talking about that scoreline. It was devastating for Sen.
Early presence showed here by Loud into the main with the boombot, walking up behind the smoke.
Sahur bang, sahur Han.
Want to fight through it. They've got a flash ready and waiting. Potentially, no, just literally ego.
Masih lapar, Cok.
But Zelsis is going to be holding for this one. Jiggles it. Stray shots going wide here. Might be calling for reinforcements.
I am back, welcome back.
Looks like just a TENZ, not a reclear.
Dan minta tolong, apa tuh?
And TENZ prepping the paranoia in case this Trailblazer caught contact. It didn't. They've recleared B main, but not necessarily going to start taking that territory with bodies. Instead, looking forwards to the fight in mid. Kawanzin did not use a fault line at the start of the round, so he's still got that, but it's going to be a gunfight instead.
Soalnya kurang gede.
I mean, just dry into it, no kit being utilized. Again, want to face with the bodies.
And to be honest, I think that favors Loud. Yeah, they've lost the breach, but no smokes if they decide to go over and commit to B. And Loud are re-exploring down mid as well. John Cutie and Sewers.
Massive proactivity being called here by Sadag, but well, John QT left to do so much more there. Just the one before the trade comes through, but the B site now opened up entirely for them. Will be that plan. Sassy's out wide into the open. Could have been danger there, but the nade, I guess, staves it away. And a call is made to try and fight into the spawn. Zelsis. Snakebite now being held, but he's got 3 targets to deal with. Luckily, Zella. Okay, Zekin right there. Vulnerable. Will he be able to get the damage? Of course he will. Followed up in the end with the snakebite post-mortem.
I love watching Sen set up these kind of little plays.
Menang nih.
You could see it constantly when they were playing against the European teams in the Swiss stage, and they didn't want to offer them opportunities to go for retakes, where they would cook up some kind of post-plant aggression, and they've always got a different idea. That's the great part about this Sen team that took the off-season so seriously. These players now have just a depth of micro plays that they can add in. This one, a snakebite off contact.
Already seeing examples of both of these teams just trying to be proactive.
Yeah.
I like calling that mid-push earlier, fighting through into spawn. So I think what I said earlier, both of these teams, they're going to be pushing themselves to
Direct lot seru. Menurut Sentinel sih.
Certainly hope so. Les Kurani opened no man's land, so he will fall.
And I think what you're seeing, at least at the beginning of this game, is Sen taking a very slow approach. That's a big kill. John Cutie going down on A means that this side of the map no longer has any offensive threat.
Ooh, second reactions there. Fault line stunned up. Well, there it is. The classic damage coming through. Flash in the end as well, so TENZ is shortly behind him with a flash repeat. Kawazin can't get
Kliknya tuh, Cok, ngeri, Cok. Anti-flashnya.
2 years. Can't see too much danger in the round.
No. And Sentinels were forced to accelerate there once John ended up dying because they don't have information about what's happening on the other side of the map. But if you want to talk about info as it relates to these compositions, Loud constantly need to be jiggle peeking corners, need to be going for those proactive explorations. And that's going to incentivize Sen to play a little slower, to try to punish the jump peaks and see if they can get damage or kills that way, to try to punish the info pushes into mid, that kind of thing. And Loud can't always run around the map pushing on defense with utility because it just makes it so obvious where they're playing. It's a difficult comp to play.
Mainnya lot, bridge-nya nggak kayak kemarin, kayak apa? Si Kaca apa si TH nih? Main kontak banget ini, Cok.
The fundies here for Sentinels though. Standard. And a util being thrown out wide here for that ramp control early. Now setting their sights out into the A side. Sadak! Anchor in position. Tucked nice and tight and safe and really just buying time for the rest of his team. Where are the reinforcements? There was a molly into the smoke and well, damage has been done. Vulnerable down.
Okay, nice.
Stood up for an easy one for Zelsis. 3 versus 3.
Bit of a blunder there for Loud, offering Sen another opportunity to get back into it.
Plan ada itu.
Not planted for Evan. Oh, and the pick goes down to... Now, Sassy is pretty far away, but I think... Yeah, I mean, look at the way that Loud are clearing this. They're expecting a reflank back up.
Holding. Usually going to be the bread and butter of a team like Sentinels, just trying to fight, scale for it. That paranoia, the timing on it. It's immaculate as soon as the nade comes through. Yep, just hearing it and tucked to the corner. Sassy removed. Taken out now, just 2 will stand, and it could be just a bit of random spray, a bit of random spam that saves the day for them. Celsius traded, pit going down. TENZ 1v1. Doesn't really have to gun for it as a bulldog, but will it be all bark or all bite?
Nice.
When TENZ is wielding it.
Great clutch there. Enormous round for Sen to be able to pick up. The momentum piling forwards for Sentinels as they win the bonus and knock Loud's economy down. And what a fumble after Sadak's able to get a 2K at the beginning. And it's a 5v3. The stun just comes through a little too late for Sadak to be able to follow up on. And then the flood that comes out is late too. And they've taken a huge player advantage situation set up by their IGL.
Keep playing together.
Tossed it away.
Awal yang bagus, awal yang bagus.
Keep playing together.
Good start, good start.
Show for Sen. Winning that bonus round is amazing.
And I do think that that's such a key. You know, Loud thrive against teams that opt into
No, Brisnya gitu.
individualism.
Dia main aksi-reaksi.
Saw what they did to EDG. Oh, yeah. It was a massacre.
Ada Boombot, ada Pencil, stun. Ada Flash, ada Smoke, stun.
I mean, you can argue as well a team like Loud had a relatively easy path into playoffs. Only beating out the Chinese representatives at Madrid.
Neither of whom played that well in their games against Loud.
Put up a fight, really, did they?
But having said that, we know that Loud are an extremely good team when they're on.
Sassy feeling the danger there. The dog spotting out too. John is so
much
wide.
Yep. That is so much info. John's like, guys, there can't be anybody B because they're all looking at me in mid.
Lucky to not pay with it with his life. Nade waiting for Loud. Could be some danger if they find a few initial picks rattled off maybe with the Sheriffs, but use the Trailblazer early. Nade follows through with a snakebite exchanging, the handshake dropping down. Sadak was alone there. There wasn't really much to do with in terms of the follow-up. They have to face it wide though, with the aftershock being played for. So much damage done to these Loud players. The positioning's known and noted, and so 3 survive into it with Zekken picking up 3s. 1 away now from the big critical ultimate on attack side. That showstopper is going to be putting in some work if he manages to earn it.
Yeah, and this is the problem once you start snowballing forwards. Loud are going to be 1 away from having a broken economy again, and Senna starting to get up to key ults. Look how nice as well the Sentinel's utility usage is when they get into a plant scenario. Zekken's holding nade to try to deny someone who might try to stop the plant, but he's also ready to throw counter utility with that nade as soon as the retake starts happening. They know how Loud are going to play, and they've already prepped the counter to stop them.
Truly one-sided affair. I want to see some bite back from Loud, really.
Well, this is interesting. Zelsis went for an orb lineup that's all the way into mid there. You see how there's 2 Viper orbs layered on top of each other. And that's going to disincentivize what Loud have been going for. This is Sentinel's Viper orb in mid there. You're going to take a lot of damage if you want to try and fight mid, if you're Loud. And that's, broadly speaking, what Loud have been doing on this defense side so far. Only 4 rounds in, though.
Dog right on cue there, at the minute mark. It's going to be broken for a bit of that mid-round information, but only shown by the 1 player, so Loud still left scratching their heads ever so slightly in terms of wondering where this might land, but they are starting to guess now correctly with the Seekers as they're pointing them directly into the right targets.
Sassy's going to pick up the ult orb and get Seekers himself.
Seconds left. Which direction is this going to go into? They've still got 2 players planted into mid here for Sen, but the spike over towards A, they are struggling to get themselves in. Push and pull, ebb and flow of the map, not really working out in Sen's favor, and they need openings and they need options right now, maybe to be granted to them. A bit of spray with the damage, the bullets going wide, but this is such a
Bagus
difficult
Cok
set of
mecah itu ya.
20 seconds left. What are they even going for here? Slowing it down, but really time is going to be the worst enemy. It's a team flash. John QT there, close to the corner, cut to wide. Satchel's through and over the top. Kabazine still anchoring. Tucked tight to the corner, Sassy planting the balls on the man.
10 detik ding, baru on ke side.
Wrap around, now Zelsis becomes a key player in the game.
He's managed to pick up his orb and reposition it too, so he's got more control over towards heaven. So he's set to try to blind somebody playing elbow. TENZ is already repositioned up top.
No follow-up off of that flash. It's all Kabazine with the stun. Finally now to try and at least attempt that reclear, but you're going to have to be giving this one up. They don't have positioning at all. Zelsis has backed away, playing a really passive position. 10 spots it, backs away, not favored for that fight. And they've won out the at least critical ones. Now no mollies for Zelsis.
Les is
Tap
holding
onto
it.
Les is holding for it and watching for it.
That was really nicely done there by Loud. Coming back in, they had so many
Sabar
different
Cok,
things that they
yang di
needed to
atas ini.
navigate. You saw that there was no follow-up on the paranoia. That's because they're expecting some utility in response or aggression in response. Look how good Cowanzine is at being able to deal with Zekken flying over the top of him too. Unless, as usual, the backbone when it comes to fragging, winning duels against TENZ and Celsius to shut the round down. That's where you see the slower pace of Sen get punished. If Loud are not going to give them things in the mid-round, give them openings to punish, you've still got to be able to make your own success with the executes at the end of the day.
A familiar setup. Doesn't look like there's the same Viper Orb that's being thrown out.
No, not this time.
Not from Celsius.
The other thing that's amazing about that Viper Orb, though, too, is it keeps people in mid, because you could lurk through it.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be seeing that one come out to play a little more.
But the presence shown, though, now with a boombot.
Touch tips.
Yeah. Handshake.
QCK
grouping up for A.
QCK and Cowan are really close to huge ultimates, too. So Loud being able to put that previous round on the board is just so huge for them to stop the bleeding. Everything was red.
It's a lot that could happen right here now with 50 seconds left. QCK shows it, body checks the dog, breaks it down, and he's one away from a large hold of his own. Onto Heaven control, but now here it is, showstopper. Fault line to stop this one. Zekken was blind as anything, no way with the movement! Just evades capture. He's still low enough though. TENZ now with a TP into the back of the side. That was not punished, and it is that full retake protocol, but already RAM control game for Loud. Look at them clearing that so damn proactively.
Meanwhile, Celsius is so far away from the rest of the squad, just trying to find the timing for a late lurk. He might be too late.
There's a kill. Here's the showstopper. Finally online. Rocket round towards the back. Sassy is dropped like a fly. TENZ has to do the most now. He stands his ground and wins his one out. Kawazine falling out. Sadek though looked into this position to Molly to push him out of position. Zekken.
Celsius is here.
Finally. Arriving to the party though, Util in his hand. Sadek adjusts it and watching for it. TENZ now 1v2. The double face is there. Terrific together. It's 2 years. His partner in crime, Mr. Sadek himself. So with that defuse online, that's going to be that second round on the board. And Loud starting to get a handle now in terms of how to tackle these A sites.
Yeah, finding the timing there to re-push ramp before Sentinels were anywhere near set up for it, right? Sen's general game plan is we're going to get to site, we're going to have some kind of post-plan idea for aggression, or a backup plan like Celsius going for that late lurk. But if you can find the timing between them going to site and setting up the next play, which Loud did, you can be very disruptive. And also, one of the big crucial factors in round 5 and 6 to Loud winning is that they just had players able to take ones and win duels. You saw TENZ at the end there. We've seen him do magic in those positions sometimes before. But Loud are shooting back. Might sound reductive, but it's very important. Here's that same orb lineup, but this time it's just going to go straight into a pit. I don't think that's going to have the value that Celsius was hoping for. Kind of risky to go and retrieve it too.
Yeah. Basically lost, isn't it? Can't really be reclaiming it unless you have a plan to re-clear, which stacking bodies, don't get me wrong, just hoping that a few stray bullets might land into the cranium of less, but he's tucked to safety, making sure the pit will stay up.
Scout destroyed.
If Sen get a read that Loud are playing heavy over mid at the start of these rounds, which they generally are, there's normally 2, sometimes 3 players there, Sen might be able to make an adjustment and go for more burst executes. But all of this is so based on having a read of what your opponents are doing in this match. And they will be changing it up compared to the last time they faced off.
Re-clear called, it looks like was the dog John QT. He's been pushed forwards now, tucked. And there it is, kill claimed. QCK, fault line. Definitely there. Actually, labored enough, but still, the trade online. The call's being made to try and speed up the play now into B, but already that util, look at it. I mean, the paranoia, the smoke drops down, cuts up the side, and with that lurk into mid, Sassy not rewarded for it. TENZ has the spike here, looking eager potentially to take some fights here, but has to stick the plan now towards default, but his team do have his back and more. Look at that! Coordination on display. Sadek creeping and crawling. He managed to weave his way into the site there while all that chaos was going on, but not enough to get too much more done.
And that was a tricky round for Sen to be able to convert. When John Cutie goes down over towards A, Sen are forced. Their hand has to go B. And Tui's knew it was happening. The Loud players were there, and yet Sen come out on top anyway. Celsius destroys that attempt to flood retake. Dodge the flash and pick up both players. Sen, they are running away with this a little now. Getting to dangerous territory. Loud put 2 on the board with some slow, nice retakes, but now the economy's broken again.
Yeah, strange, isn't it? How that ends up working out, but quite salvage. Will keep any of the money running. Keep smoke. Going to be disrespected apparently. At least with the flash, they know that nobody's close, tucked to the corner. A lot of players now looking for a punish onto John QT. He's been noted that he plays here a lot, solo play. But they're just going to posture and pick up the orb.
And if they can find a pick on John QT and push him away, it'll create timings where Loud can worry about the rest of the map. And I think they've got a very good read that John is playing solo A lot. That's an expectation that maybe Sentinels can mess with a little, but at the moment, Loud have found a decent timing here to make a little bit of danger in the round. And the more the time ticks, the more you start to get worried in situations like this.
Absolutely.
Especially when we saw one of the rounds go down to only 15 seconds on the clock.
I think you can get really punished.
And Bren, the spike is going towards A,
yeah,
which is where Loud are going for their gamble stack. There are only 30 seconds left on the clock. Sen are quiet, but so far
30
away.
seconds left.
They're faking like it could be going towards B, blocking off Les's sightlines, but no one's budging.
No one's budging. Kawazine looks to be the contact for a Paranoia play that's being held around the back now. The nade flying forwards, close quarters, still doesn't win it out with the stinger, and the backside players are brutalized, eviscerated. Sadak goes for the flash repeat. There's Zelsi, safety in numbers.
What a swing and great dodging movement by John as well. Can Les pick this up?
V3.
He's been a monster.
He's got the rifle to do it still. There's going to be no gaps there, not with Sentinels. They know who they're up against.
And another round where Sen, it looks dangerous on the mini-map. You see them walking into the trap. Yusuke even manages to get one. But everyone on Sen is playing really tight together. Making sure that they can trade, making sure the spacing's excellent. It is. Absolute sentiment. And they're running away with this. If you wanted to have an expectation coming into Split, I think it's a little difficult. Because the two times we've seen these teams play before, one was an extremely close split. The Loud ended up winning, with Sadak just popping off at the end of the game to drag him over the line. And the other was a flattening. It was Sentinels just utterly, tactically dominating the game. And this is looking to me to be more like the latter. Obviously, the scoreline would suggest that, but the approach, the way that Sen is so patient around the map, dealing with everything that Loud throw at them. I think that time, having been the first team to qualify for playoffs, has been used very wisely.
Oh, yeah. Rest and rejuvenation. I mean, listen, I've seen these players wandering around the hotel, and the coaches, Kaplan and Drew. They had very dark bags under their eyes, but now they've finally been able to get some sleep.
And you saw there in that shot of the stage, actually, Sadak popping off, making sure he's communicating what he wants to be adjusted heading into this. Tack timeout taken for Loud. Are they going to be able to find the adjustment that gets them a little bit of a cushion to work with? Because the economy has just never been in a good spot.
No. Really quite vital round coming up here, just because of what you mentioned, the economy situation is a deep fault line. That's just off the rip from Kawazine into market, but there wasn't really much to follow through with it. It looks like maybe it was just to set up B main control for 2 years.
Now look how difficult this is from Les and Kawazine's point of view. You know, when this orb goes up, it's very difficult to know if someone on Sen is just quietly taking a timing through. And so these A players have to be cautious, concerned.
I've got your trail.
Little portion of the round though, with a minute 10 onto the clock. You can see those Seekers offloaded, pointing in various different directions, but it doesn't really give Sen an indicator. They do know that Mail is going to be free, or not Mail, but Ropes itself.
Yeah, that Seeker went a long way before it hit Kawazine over in A Heaven. So Sen have a pretty good idea that that path to A Heaven is fairly uncontested. And the dog here actually might give such bad information.
Broken.
It didn't see the second player of John QT. We'll see what Sen end up going for. Certainly relying a lot on the mid-rounding here from John, rather than having set game plans going into the rounds.
Sadak, Seekers of his own now, spotting all the way through into mid. Everybody bursting through. Now the snake bite. Used on the Q as he hears that Trailblazer. Where's the follow through now from the rest of the team? B main lost control of this one. There's going to be questions asked now of a lot of these Loud anchoring players. They want to give it up entirely. Don't want anything to do.
Yeah. That paranoia thrown from TENZ is lovely. Would have caught anybody over towards rafters, and yes, the time is low, but look how devastating this looks to retake.
How do you do this now? Yes, you have a rolling thunder, but it's going to be Utilised hopefully now to clear through into the bit. They've got this late lurk, the flying from Sassy, and yet he's caused all the distraction in the world. Gets out with his life, close to the corner, cut him up. Still, John QT. Quality tactics, quality time now with the whole family as he's sat back into the spectator. CQCK forward. Leading it with the team, but it's already wrapped around, so they got to expect the Sassy's there. No, it's a half clearance. Not enough, 2 years TP adjustment. He's on that high ground position, just propped up, but less now needs to get more done, and he can't do it. It's going to come down to just a bit of spray and pray, but already time ticking, so 2 years, no chance in hell.
And it's another situation, Bren, where Loud cannot get any level of economic cushionry going. They're going to be knocked straight back down onto a low buy. And that adjustment, whatever it was that Sadak came into the round trying to inform the rest of his team, it did not work. They weren't ready for Sassy here in B Heaven, and they weren't ready for Sassy again once he repositioned into B main. It completely disrupted what Loud were going for there with the retake. The timing could not have been more perfect.
The way Sen are working this map, I mean, it's a masterclass.
Yeah.
Speed running it.
It really is. There was a lot of talk coming in based on their regional performances on Split that they might have the best split in the world. And, you know, I was saying, be cautious. We haven't seen them play up against all the other teams in the world, but man, is it looking clean. I think the believers in the Sentinels split are getting their beliefs confirmed every time we watch.
Yeah, now heavy group up. The weaker buy here from Loud using that Trailblazer, trying to be fast onto the approach. Chance here, Zekken tries to adjust the spray, expecting players to swing from that left side. TENZ evacuating, has a Paranoia still left to play for, but the mollies are really clearing him out of position. What's the call now for Loud? Looks like a pivot.
Yeah, very mobile though. They've made it feel like it's ramp and they're already pressuring the screens. There's still a trip here for John. And TENZ is in their spawn where they buy guns.
They don't have a clue. I mean, they've just caused them to all just be looking backwards as well. Les didn't have any sort of idea. He was just watching in case it was in mid. 2 years. One with a rifle, but no longer. Dropped to the floor, dropped to the deck. Les quite able to do it.
Yeah, and it's not really TENZ that makes the round-winning play, but I think it was that Cypher trip coming from John. He'd popped it over towards screens, and I believe that's how Cowanzine ended up falling off screen. Zels has got a double spray down. Have a look here. Blinded up. Yep, hits the trip.
Oh, yeah.
And also gets QCK killed because he's right behind him. So it just gives the perfect timing and positioning for Zelsis to go for that spray. I mean, everything is working here for Sen. It must be devastating for the Loud morale. Bear in mind, you have a full BO3 ahead of you, and you knew that you wouldn't be favored here, but it is still going to be mentally difficult to bring your spirits back up.
Hopefully off that experience in spades. Oh my, showstopper. Let loose there. There is the trade online from Cowanzine. He followed up with the stun at least, but this high ground angle of TENZ drops down, gives him the cues. Cowanzine just taking a wide peek by himself, man. Taking a fight by himself. Yeah, there's back up there, but heads have fallen, heads have rolled, and now maybe exactly what Loud ordered.
Yeah, player advantage situation, looking lovely for them. One away from a showstopper too. Sen, they're going to be able to get a plant down here. They're pretty certain that A is completely clear. They saw so many people fighting over mid. But this one is going to be tough, and Loud cannot afford to throw it away.
Yeah, just watching for it. Look at that. Loud, great awareness, knowing that Sen are going to have to be playing a bit more proactively, making the moves into the post-plan situation. Sassy is the lone survivor, gets shut down by his former squad.
And so Sen, for about the first time in this half, tried to do something fast at the start of the round. And that actually results in Loud getting the round win. Right, every other round, we've seen Sentinels with a tortoise-like pace to the beginning of these, making sure that they are cautious, diligent about everything. And as soon as they step forward to try to take the fight, Loud are so happy. These players behind Zekken just got wide swung and minced.
Crucially as well, final round of this first half, the money's looking good, the ult's even better. The showstopper for QCK can play really much more aggressively now that he's got that one.
And the silver lining, if they can get to 4, if they can win a pistol, maybe it's doable. But they've got to be securing those wins.
Yeah, clean with the rounds that are available to them now. Viprorp does throw a lot of just chaos into the mix. I mean, look at the amount of Loud players. It's just gathered all the way into mid to watch it. They've got 3 players checked and ready.
Yeah. And TENZ is still holding counter utility over towards B main. That timing was looking pretty good. Just.
Adata spotted the op though. The call's been made to contact in through B main, so Sen have just got themselves a freebie there. Can now utilize this. Ult forwards. The rookie goes wide. No way. And now no value to be found there. Out wide once more. Still QCK's on a swivel. Molly's vulnerable him up. Pushed him out into the open. The easy collection of the kill. Now there's 45 seconds left. Chances to slow this one down, but it looks like Sen have no intention of it. Forward positions once more. Kawazin drops down from the ropes here, spraying down, but Tui's is disjointed on the rest of his team. Kawazin out wide. The reset. Oh, rolling thunder. Lifts him up in the air, sky high. And then one player standing towards the back as a crossfire setup, but the aftershock is elite. Kawazin on for so much more. An ace on the cards, less to stick. This one comes down to the spam, but John is stunned. A tap, he's going to be out wide, he's going to be forced wide, knows it. Info gathered now, but another stick now. Less finally to trust, maintained in his teammate, maintained in him, might be
Hello.
the tap, out, force with a jiggle. John QT, balls of steel.
Gelo.
Kawazin was forced to reload in the middle of that. And
Tuh, gelo.
Les was still on the spike. Unbelievable timing from John. And Kawazin had done so much. More than anyone could have been asked to do. But the timing on that, of when to take the fight in the 1v2 was utterly superb.
Gelo.
It's perfection.
John Kitty.
God damn. Absolutely unreal stuff. Well, we heard from John earlier. Let's find out what he was expecting coming into this matchup.
Hello, I'm John Curie, and I'm the IGL for Sentinels. We definitely did a lot of mistakes, and we looked rough. We've had 2 rough days, but we made sure to rally the team, everyone stay focused on the goal, and we won 2-0. I watched all of their VODs. I even came here and just spent all my time watching Split and Lotus. I've noticed their patterns and what they like to do, what's their tendencies. So it wasn't that hard to kind of guess what they were doing. I like to tell my teams that the devil is in the details. It's the small things that adds up and create that big thing that will make the difference.
All grouped up right towards the back TP on top. That's amazing. This man is terrifying. What an angle to find. All the way forwards, Judge in hand, Hien. Away with it. Still, reinforcements arriving. Narrate can't withstand it though, the pressure. It's too much, it's immense. This man is a thing of nightmares. The mobility, the confidence, both working in tandem. He's on for the ace.
Obviously, the team has been through very lows after the 2021 Reykjavik. So it hasn't been all rainbow and sunshine, but the fans still stuck with the team. Since I joined, I mean, I'm lucky to say we've only had high highs. We've won all of our off-season and VCT so far. So, I mean, everything is going great right now, but we're still process-oriented and goal-oriented. Even if we lose, we still make sure that to keep it consistent and not really worry about the comments.
Consistency is key at the end of the day. It's clearly working out for Sentinels. I mean, he was talking about it, time in the off-season, they've been winning a lot, but with that comes a lot of hard work. They've shown some of the most maps of any teams coming into the kickoff, coming into the entirety of this year, but part of that is just them honing these map pools, All the questions placed onto their split, why the teams keep letting it through. Well, the reality is, it's a middle ground map for most teams.
Certainly true. Loud have come into this perma-banning Lotus, and Sen's Lotus looks good. That means you have to go towards this. So pistol round. Loud decided to take a ramp control at the start. Sen wanted to fight over mid, but there was nobody there. Loud has still got some people really far away from the action.
Real fast refight, the stun. There's no connection there, so Les is able to just skip and hop away, but John QT is just this watchful eye onto it. There's a gap into the smoke. Maybe a bit unintentional there, maybe just a bit rushed from Tui's.
Sen are also expecting there to be more players on site right now. They're okay, well, where are the other 2 players for Loud? They lost track a little bit of where Kawazin and Tui's could be, and now they've lost a lot of map info too. There are still chances here for the Loud players to turn things around, but this silent jump spot, not gonna be punished.
Comes down to a couple of obstacles, really.
And look at the rest of Sen, tripled up, re-clearing areas of the map, trying to regain some information, making sure that they don't offer any 1v1s.
Yeah, methodical.
30 seconds.
The win conditions of Loud right now. And against it, slowly creeping forwards, making sure to regain some of that map control. No kill found onto Kawazin. Less a chance, really, for him to bite back and fight back. Here it is. Return of the fire. TENZ from the wraparound. 2 years running all the way through. He knows the time's against him. So, pistol round. Does not go the way of Loud there. Sentinels, again, looking like just a map of pure domination.
Yeah, this could be extremely similar to the last time we saw these teams face on Split. As pure Sen domination. Sadak caught off guard by that one. And John picking up the 2K. It's just enormous. That paranoia, by the way, too, lovely from TENZ. They didn't know, as far as I'm aware, that Les was in that position, and TENZ just sensed that that could be dangerous.
Keep it up, keep it up. Small windows, but
now Loud they've got to force. Right, you're down 3 to 10. You didn't win the pistol, you need some momentum.
All relying on this one. That full investment, no money left standing. Trips though to stop them in their tracks as they try and take control of this. The dog broken before it even triggered into it. They do find it. Reface, Elsis, that is incredibly brave. Well, second following through with the bullets as well as Stinger. That's just a wide bit of a gap there still. Sentinel's fully aware of all potential possibilities right now. Sadak has been pushed forwards into this deep angle and approach. With that trip broken, there was a chance of a timing.
Sassy's going to re-explore. He's very favored in a fight against 2Es unless 2Es gets the jump on him.
No way, just the ghost doing work!
That's bonkers.
Yeah, it's got the one pick, but there's no real follow-up there with the players. I mean, they can't really react appropriately. He sends the util flying.
It's pulling Zelsis over. It is making the A site weaker here.
Second and John QT, though. Cam back online. It's going to be spotting the crossover.
30 seconds left.
There it is.
Camera taken out.
They'll be calling out now that they could have been compromised towards spawn, but now time running against them. Loud, get a move on. Cages propped up, pushed up. Behind it, John QT can't follow through after that trip. There's a smoke in his face. It does make it quite dangerous, quite difficult. Still, it's a bit of run and gun in action. Only a few seconds remaining. Pull out the sidearm. Why not?
Nice.
Gets the job done.
Really excellent teamwork and anchoring again there from Sen. Didn't have a cage for himself to be able to play inside of, but has a smoke there from a teammate. Somebody inside the smoke that he can spam off. Just really solid setup. Beautiful little team plays happening all over the place for Sen on this map. They've refined it so well. And Loud, that force smacked of desperation. Down 3 to 11 with only Sheriffs to work with. This one is a GG go next.
That's brutal. Really brutal.
And the other two maps here are going to be, even if Loud were to win them, very hotly contested. It's not like Loud have a map themselves that they are guaranteed to dominate on.
No, they've got a Sisyphus level fight ahead of them, honestly. Uphill battle. Icebox, both of these teams quite favored on their attack side. Sunset, I would give the edge to Sentinels.
Yeah.
So even if you do win on that second map to extend the series, it looks dire still. Anything can happen. Team like Loud, being around the block, they might be down and out right now, but they have that experience to maybe rally themselves here. They need a few more, though. Openings not going to be given to them. Defensive setup for Sentinels just a little bit too strong, too well honed.
Yeah, everything looks... They've crossed every T, dotted every I. You heard John talk about it too when he said the devil's in the details, right? What makes a team excellent is not just the macro, not just the shooting, but it's all the small things, the little interplays between players, the maximization of, you know, a certain piece of utility, knowing to always smoke this spot, or knowing to always throw this nade in this particular way. And on Split here, Sen approaching some levels of perfection on this map in the current meta. They are ahead of the game here.
True flattening.
And it's going to strike fear into the hearts of anybody else, because if you have a perma, you have to let this through.
Yeah, playing Split
Oh, kok gini Loud? Ah. Jago dibilang ini orang anjing.
One of them to this team that they're playing against now, Loud, but it was the kind of team getting knocked by their losses. Re-clearance called here with a flash and a paranoid. Well,
good counter
flash. Good one, yeah, from Kawazin.
Yeah, very important counter flash there. Sen are trying to set up plays like this because they have looser weaponry to work with. The two Spectres, the Bulldog.
Heal up, squad. Here.
So we get to see a slightly more aggressive version of their setup.
So goes the ebb and flow of the map.
But there are still chances for Sen to win this round and just dominate with the same scoreline that they did in the
Flash,
finals.
rifle, bloody hell, that's a lot of damage and a retreat. Covered and watched for. Celsius just swinging wide, a bit of run and gun in the reaction. Called now from Loud. Into the site, will they be able to get the plant down? Looks like they will do so. Too much pushback.
There isn't very much retake utility here for Sen. Normally their retakes are amazing, but there's really only a boombot to work with.
Waiting for the right timings. I mean, the smoke up. 1 second here for TENZ. Going to be using it probably to block off one of the angles. Just jiggling for now. There it is, actually dividing up the site. Paranoia flying with the fault line. Time. Time to tick. A crucial kill. Celsius falling on top heaven. TP forwards. Backside control, at least partitioning in it and trying to take it wide. Still with that util online. The aftershock does push him away. A time from John QT, but forcing the fights out into the open. The snake bites, plenty of util here. So Loud, really well played into that one. Just understanding how to play that fully, just using the util.
And it's officially now a closer game than it was during the grand final, where Sen won 13-3. But man, it doesn't feel much closer.
No. I mean, this round almost I'd say a givey, but
it was a bonus.
It was a bonus, right? You know, yeah, Sen didn't have as much util available to them, but still, you know, Loud. 1 round at a time, it's all the way, you got to take it.
Yeah, and we've seen them pull off big comebacks before. And we've seen them lose leads before as well, but listen, we won't talk about that one.
We won't talk about it. We'll mention it a few times.
Look at the timing there, just beautiful. Great read that Les was going to go for an aggro lurk.
Les dropped, I mean, this is your star player. This is a guy you're expecting to put up massive numbers, who's going to offset that mechanical advantage that a team like Sentinels might have with players like Second, like TENZ. The desk was talking about it. When he's shut down here, your chances begin to dwindle. Trip in their face. There's no protocols at all to really deal with that one. Should have known it was there, surely, if they were walking all the way up. TP forwards, it is just being toppled and crumbled. All the opportunities in this round here for Loud. QCK, Grenade does get the one onto Celsius.
I mean, this spike is down in such an open position, though. It sends to close out.
And Sadak, it's inevitable, yeah, the double face in the air.
GG, coy.
One side of maps we've seen. Two of our top teams here in playoffs. But Sentinels are primed and ready. This is a team angry. They want to go deep, they want to go forwards. They know they've had obstacles, they know it's been...
GG.
Revenge, but they just stomped Loud in the same way that Loud stomped EDG.
Absolutely impeccable work.
GG EZ ah.
Excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of us?
Oh, no problem.
Thanks.
Yes, problem. You need Verizon. Trade in that old thing and get a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage, so you can take all the pics. So many selfies.
A preposterous amount of panos!
That means panoramic.
Lihat pro player kok serasa mudah ya seperti nonton gameplay. Ah.
None feels right.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition and get iPhone 15 Pro and iPad and Apple Watch SE all on us. Only on Verizon.
Du. Main mancing ya kita ya. Tapi ngantuk sih cok. 3 menit. Mancing dulu kita guys, mancing. Mancing. Ding. Jadi gede gitu, Cok. Kameraku hilang aja. Gila, mancing mania. Biasanya Valo tuh berapa? Lupa ratio Valo-nya. Nice. Lah. Ding. Ya lama gini, Ying. Agak kuat ya, man kuat, Ying. Select room is full. Anjay. Gila gak sih, coy? Gak bisa, Ying. Habis, Cok. Itu, Cok. Peacekeeper di mana peacekeepernya? Oh ini es. Lah, juga mancing buat apa nih ngabis-ngabisin? Itu doang, emang bisa dijual lah. Nanti aja lah main minion.
Tough first map. What was the team struggling with the most, and how do you guys plan to remedy that going into Icebox?
I think that we entered in a game with a game plan. This game plan didn't work. Unfortunately, they adapted themselves, so they have a lot of merit on that. So on Icebox, we have we are more comfortable on the map. Like we have more plays on this map. So I think that's about this. Like reset about the first map that anything went good and go for with our full power right now.
Well, Loud is a team that you can't ever count, so let's see if they're able to bounce back on Icebox.
Exactly, Mika. Well put. But the thing is, Mimi, what are Loud's game plans for Icebox? What do they do?
So they play this Harbor Viper comp that they've been playing for a while, but they execute on it really well. Last time they played, the thing that impressed me the most was their protocols in plant denial and retakes. They're very good at kind of timing how they're using their moments to delay their opponent's plant, then going for these flood retakes that with the Harbor Viper are really effective. This is a map where I think you get to see the experience, the fundamentals of Loud on full display. They've played this comp for a while. They have a lot of variations of how they want to set up with it, especially on this defensive side. This is the comfort zone for the Brazilians.
Comfort? I don't know. Call me a doubter, whatever.
Okay.
I think, obviously, this being the anomaly of the grand finals for me is a very, very close fought affair, a 13-11 scoreline regionally, but I don't feel like we're getting the same Loud here. Other than obviously the EG series apart, I don't think really Loud are in a position today to throw Sen off their game that much. Obviously, previously, Les has been the standout individual for Loud on Icebox, but I don't know, I just don't get it.
See, that's the thing, though. I agree with what you said. This is still, I think, a map they are very comfortable on, but Sentinels is also so good at it. They run a very different comp. They're playing this KO, Gecko, and I actually think that can play into this Harbor Viper quite well. You can be fighting through the walls, fighting through the smokes, combining those two pieces of utility, and Zekin just looks unreal whenever he gets to play the Jet on this map.
Well, this is the thing. Last time they faced each other, Mike, Sentinels did come out on top. You think history is repeating itself?
I feel, yeah, we were talking about this before. We were talking about, yeah, it's going to be a long, drawn-out affair here. I think with that start, it's just so hard. Loud one-on-ones time and time again, we say they're never out of a series. They're never out of a map. I'm just not seeing it again today. It's another concerning look at. You know, and obviously, I mean, even there with the interview there, talking about the adaptations that Sen made, I don't feel like they made an awful lot. Loud had no approach to really disrupt Sentinels gameplay that they've demonstrated time and time again on Split.
Sentinels, they do look so good, but you guys at home voted and you think that this is going to go the distance, and I have faith in the MasterCard fan poll. But the question is, Bren and Saisho, do you guys have faith in Loud?
I mean, I'm praying. I'm on my knees here praying. So I'm not going to lie. I want a close game. I want something that's not going to be so lopsided between these two teams. We can certainly hope so. You know, the last time these two teams tackled each other on Icebox, it was Loud who got the better of them. Both of these teams have very, very good fundamentally attack sides with their comps. They are very well drilled in that regard, but I want to see some fight back now from Loud.
I actually think that Sen's composition is extraordinarily good against Louds too. It's just that Sen haven't worked on this map as much as some of the others in their pool. And if they've used this time accurately, then maybe they can come out with another incredible map win.
Mati anjing tiba-tiba.
That's not going to help. Sassy going down there at the start of the round. You know, he's a really important piece of the puzzle in terms of getting the plants down.
It's a massive one with less cover that early face, that early peak.
And Loud expect this to be a re-hit. And they won't really know otherwise until the alarm bot takes contact. And at that point, it's kind of too late. Sadak doesn't have nanoswarms to deny. So just gambling the wrong way here.
Sadak, flash through, who's playing anti. Where's the follow-up? There is none. Just rips away to it, and Frenzy in his hands. A backside position being played here. Dash fading away, but Second still standing his ground that he's earned himself. Dart dodged. Another play being set up as well. TENZ with a pop flash into the peak. It allows Second to recross back, playing together now, but they've got 4 players to deal with. Make it 3. Can't let this one slip now, Loud. Shot Dart, it's good for the damage. TENZ gonna be forced out wide. TENZ! You can't be getting away with this, son! Surely not needs.
Gelo.
Sadak push forward, that's a 2v4?
That's ridiculous.
Gelo.
Sadak there to give Sadak 2 kills was about the only way that Sen could have messed up what was happening. Not that it's their fault, they didn't know where exactly he was positioned. But for TENZ to recover that, he's forced to take that duel there as he crosses back. Yeah, he's forced to take fights because of their utility, because of how they're positioned.
Who are they peeking? Who are they peeking?
Give it to him, man. Oh my god.
I mean, the players on Loud are so talented, and TENZ is just owning them.
You man, return to form.
His form has been spectacular in basically all of this year.
Yeah.
The actual shots that TENZ has been hitting, the moments, the multi-kills from him have been unbelievable sometimes. When he's not forced to be the entry player, to have all of that extra mental bandwidth being taxed, the rifling's just been superb.
Player's going to be dropping plan online here for Sassy.
Now look at this high tide. It's not going to have an influence in this round, but I do like how Loud are using it. They throw it out from 2Es when he's playing over towards Snowman, and it's going to let them play between the Viper Wall and the high tide to break the wingman, to deny the plant, to fight more aggressively. I think that could be crucial once we get onto some of the rifle rounds, but there is no danger here. Sen have just taken a very clean B exec.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, TENZ, he should be trying to hunt. Yeah, you see him swap the weapon.
Yeah. Offloading it in exchange there. Does want to go hunting. 2 years. Top of the bridge brings him down. Still 1 step closer. That's what matters.
It's a fairly important denial, though. If TENZ had access to that ult at the start of the round, things would get quite difficult for Loud. The attack side on Icebox can be very potent. And the thing is, Loud's composition doesn't actually have great ways of disrupting you when you go for that. It doesn't have the ability to, you know, flash re-peek from yellow or on pipes on A, that kind of thing, which teams like Gen G have done so much work integrating those micro plays on the defense.
A little bit of proactive fighting over.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why we saw the attack side be so good for both of these teams. Sen hadn't really built out those defensive plays, and Loud's comp it kind of relies on playing retake, which is easier to deny.
Berani ya setup bolnya.
The purpose of that Dizzy, just to spot if a player is aggressive up through.
Ngasih pressure-nya ke A.
Don't know if that's even been noted. I mean, bonus round here for Sen.
Not really an opportunity here for TENZ to be able to get the ult online, I don't think. Instead, looking more like a standard A exec. Now, TENZ is getting in position for this flash Dizzy combo that Gen G were using. It's so good.
Yeah. Choose to break it, you're going to be staying right into the sun. The flash goes off. Plan. Now here for Sassy. Util a little bit delayed. So yep, it's down. Close to the quarters. Down underneath rafters. Kawazin wins his 1 out versus Second. Still into the position for it. And TENZ is starting to use his ult now for this. Making sure that they can't use any of that post-plant util. Keen and eager to take the fights. He's ripped Kawazin's head clean off. Over the top of the ropes. This is a real dangerous situation. Scenario flash. Peek. The rest of his team sets them up, but no real casualties. Now UCK finally. Abilities back online. Dash. Backing away. Gets the 1. Needs to clear the corner here, but he's still really struggling. Waiting out wide here. Having a defuse from Sadak. Pushed back and away. And a wide tip tap and a face there from the Loud players remaining just in time.
Very nice patience there from Loud. Didn't get caught by the flash re-clear, but I can see that Sen are starting to add more stuff into their playbook. I mean, that flash Dizzy combo is so good. Everything that the Dizzy takes and the way that the flash pops catches so much of the area. And Loud had to wait a long time to get their high tide and the Cove back online, and then played with each other really well to stop some of this momentum from Sen.
Calm the mollies. We really need to calm the mollies.
Okay, there we go. Zekken looking for a readjustment early. And these players are smart. They understand what the issues are. Kaplan's talked about it so much.
Potential off the charts here, but clear understanding of what is really going wrong for them. Knife not broken. Tags onto 2.
Yeah, that's going to create a serious threat, though. See how 2E's is using his high tide to make it difficult for Sen to clear out that area, unless he's pushing up on the other wing of the map.
He's got walkabouts. Overstep himself, waiting for the high tide to now fade. He's going to be using again. Flash Dizzy. Dash forwards from Zekken. Make sure to clear all that space. If somebody was holding that aggressively, it would have been mince meat. But now, once they've gained control of B main, what's going to be the call? Maybe to go back into Zelsis?
Yeah. I mean, they either needed to hit B quickly there or go back over towards A, because if they wait enough time for 2E's high tide to come back, which it now is, it's much more difficult to get the plant down and get Sassy his ult. Drone is going to confirm. I think that a lot of these players have left the area. Does it catch? Oh, yeah, just
does.
Onto Zekken.
Zekken is looking like the fox in the pen, but with him notified now, he's really just caught.
He is, but he's going to be distracting and pulling people away for quite a while.
He's got 3 on him. Here we go. Coming through there. Dizzy firing a blind shot off, but it actually didn't trigger onto Les. Nano Swarm.
That's so much damage.
My God, yeah. TENZ lucky to be alive, facing top rafters Sadak. Taken out cleanly. Now TENZ is going to be playing a 4 position here because he is so low. Might be able to get a 1 and done.
And Sassy, with that ult plant, Wingman got the Thrash online.
Need somebody to break that dart for him though, and there wasn't anybody really waiting available, but still, like you said, the Thrash is now online. Sassy lets it loose, the movement, clean, jiggling with it. Entertainment, not quite online here. Now a bit of pace injected back into the thing. See it Loud, using that util. All available for them, but it's a crossfire setup of Sentinels, and they punish that swing and wide face out. Great with the movement and patience with the aim. Cooling down the weaponry enough to take out QCK. Over on the top of the rope, Zelsis, he's hungry for this kill. He's hungry for it. Building up towards it, but okay, Les just a better player on the day.
But a sad situation for him to be in. He was the player pushed the furthest forward on A, last to fall. Everybody crumbling around him. I just want to go back a little bit to their communication from the previous round. Sen were coming, or Zekken specifically was saying, calm the mollies. And the reason that's so important in this composition is because players need to be able to hide. Players need to be able to hide and not have to face and break Cove and fight while the mollies are online. They need to force Loud to bring the fight to them if the spike is safe. And so getting that timing correct is really important against what Loud has.
Quick money here, QCK, 3K in the bank, looks like he's trying to save the operator, but for now the Sheriff will have to do, and it will. Sassy, dusted, taken the hell out.
Lagi, ngelek adik-adik.
Sen have been mixing up whether they rotate, whether they re-hit, and you can see Loud here just trying to figure out, is it correct to stack onto B? QCK looking to explore through mid. I think it's a re-hit, and keeping players on this site.
Might be some serious danger here. I mean, 2 is just holding onto the high tide's wall. There, flash through into the back. Dart, oh my. They knew exactly the position that was coming from, so Kawasi didn't really stand a chance off the armor. Draft dashing away.
Yang lagi ini anjing.
Second survives, flank attempt from QCK.
Oh shit man. Maka sudahan kita guys, kayak udahan deh anjing. Merah anjing.
Really being applied as less here, and QCK for the cleanup. John QT is there with a trade, but 1 versus 3 now. Diffuse online for 2 years, not going to be pushed away from this one. There's no more utility left available for them. So a thrifty round for Loud. That's what you want to see.
Ya sudah, kita udahan dulu guys. Merah cok, aing. Bye bye.